Wow. Yeah, I got the
Nice. I like
Chain Champ
the
screen
live-
pulled up.
Yeah, Chain Champs Market. This one is super fun to like live snipe shit on. Although bots are still beating you, but I guess you can use the chimp change to make the limit orders too.
I haven't done one of those in a while. I also wasn't the biggest fan of the redeemables in this set.
You don't like Aqua Harry? He's the
like
real, right?
The Victor Crumb one is probably my favorite, with like the shark head. I also think it's interesting the art style they went with for this one. For almost every other Funko set they've done, like everything looks cute. Like even when something's kind of scary, it's like a cute scary. These ones actually look kind of ugly and gross, which is just not really on brand for Funko.
Yeah. They do look pretty wild.
I don't know. I'm also not like the biggest fan of the Harry Potter IP. I never even finished the books or the movies. Like I think I got to like book 6 or something, and I was just like, yeah, I'm good on this. I'm good.
Damn. I thought the movies are. I didn't finish the books. I got to like book 4, and then I was like,
I got to the big blue one. It was like 600 or 800 page book, massive blue book. I read that.
I feel like that's 4, right? The Goblet of Fire was blue, wasn't it?
It was after the Goblet of Fire. I don't know. Let's get
after the Goblet of Fire was the last one I read, and then after that was, I guess, Order of Phoenix.
Hey, how many books are there? Maybe it was I think it was. Must have been 5. The Order of Phoenix. Yeah, that's the big blue one.
Order of Phoenix. Okay, yeah, that one I started reading and I just kind of like lost.
Goblet of Fire is green. That one's also very big. So I only have 2 left, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I also watched like the first 2 or 3 movies, and then I was just like, yeah, I'm good on this too. I'm good on that. But it is a pretty big IP as far as stuff on Wax goes.
Hell yeah, dude. Harry Potter is huge. Have you ever been to the Harry Potter world at Universal Studios?
I'm not sure. I think that was like being built the last time I went. Are there rides there? Or is it just like, I know they have like a wand thing.
There's a couple rides. Yeah, there's like you're in a motion control kind of thing and moving through like a sound stage with a bunch of screens, and it's all dressed up and stuff. And it's like you're riding a broomstick through like Hogwarts. It's pretty dope.
I've definitely never done that then.
And then they have like the little like snow-covered village. I forget the name of the town, but you can like walk through this little like snowy town and get yourself a butterbeer, other Harry, like buy a wand or something. You know, Harry Potter stuff.
No, I haven't done that. I haven't been to Universal in a long time. Yeah, I think that was like being built the last time I went. I like the friggin' Simpsons
I haven't been
World
since they opened the Mario World. I want to go do that, dude.
Yeah, Mario World I want to go to. I'm actually into Mario as a...
Yeah,
I'm more interested in Mario as an IP than I am as Harry Potter.
Yeah,
I think for me, Harry Potter is just like, it took too long to come out when I was growing up. So I started reading the first books when I was like a child, and then I was in like high school, maybe even college by the time like the last books were coming out. So I think I just sort of outgrew it as it was being released. I feel like had I been like in like 5th grade or whatever when all of the books were released and the whole series existed to just go through, I feel like then I probably would have been more interested in it.
Yeah,
I feel like I outgrew it.
Yeah, I feel like
I also was reading weird shit. In 5th grade, I read like one of the Lord of the Rings books too. I feel like them shit's cooler than Harry Potter. In
5th grade.
I weirdly started Lord of the Rings on the the Two Towers or whatever, the second one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I read that one instead of the first one for whatever reason.
Huh. Two Towers is a pretty good one. I think the first one's like my favorite though. Like that first book is so fucking good. Also, just the way the story wraps.
You don't need to read the book.
That movie is so fucking good too. Yeah, Jesus Christ, it's like a masterpiece movie.
Those movies
I
won like
rewatched those
I
movies.
remember like it was like getting to be a joke where they're like, yeah, who guess who won Lord of the Rings again? Like they're winning like every award at the movie.
Yeah,
So,
they deserved it. It was so good. It still holds up. I feel like if it was like new movies have to be like measured against Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings would win Oscars like every year, most years.
it definitely,
Like
I don't
it's
know.
better
It's
than
got like the
a lot of shit.
I feel like what they have going for them is they have like the epicness of like the Marvel movies and shit, but they have just such a better story. Like the Marvel stuff is like
Yeah,
not as great of a story with like big fight scenes and stuff because like the war scenes and stuff in Lord of the Rings are nuts. Like they look super cool, and all the
yeah,
CGI
that
with
was
like I don't even know if
groundbreaking
it's
shit
CGI.
too.
Like all
Like
like the goblins
you,
and
yeah, you never saw
orcs and
that shit
stuff. They
before
look
on a movie.
sick.
Like at that scale, like a war sequence with like 10,000 characters fighting each other in one scene. Like that was the first time that ever happened in a movie.
CGI also I feel like was like had gotten to the point where it was like passable.
Dude, the CG holds up today. You can rewatch those movies right now and still be like, "Yep, like
Because I think a
it
lot of
worked."
those orcs are people in makeup, but they have that like that like giant troll guy, like not the
Yeah.
one, not the one they fight like the Balrog or whatever, but the there's like a guy who like has an explosive barrel that blows up like part of the wall.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, like
I
just
think that
cave
was all
trolls and
CG,
shit.
right? That guy like
Yeah, for
totally
sure.
looked good.
I mean, Golem looks real as fuck. Well, real as he should. Like he looks like a believable character, is what I'm trying to say. And, like it doesn't take me out that he's a fully CGI animated character. And he's like
He's
one
no
of the
Jar
main
Jar
fucking
Binks.
characters. Jar Jar Binks. That was the first time. That was the first time in the history of movies where a main character in a movie was fully CGI, and it
I
actually
remember
worked.
really
Like it
not
passed.
liking Jar Jar Binks, but I feel like going back, he's a meme now. Like he's pretty actually cool. He's cool
It
because he's
worked
not
too.
cool.
When I saw that movie, like I bought it. I was like, yeah, Jar Jar Binks, that guy's there.
I think his character was just annoying. Was the problem? Not that it
Yeah,
looked bad.
he was annoying.
I guess Gollum's kind of annoying too in a different way.
He's like,
My precious.
yeah.
Are you gonna
Kind
get
of
any of the
shot
Harry
for.
Potter stuff?
I might buy a pack. That is pretty cool. Hold on, I forgot to close these fucking positions. I have way too much money open right now on a leverage position, and the daily candle
Let's
hasn't
see what the
closed.
floor is of Harry Potter packs.
Dude, they're opening crazy fast. Look how many have been burned too. I'll be right back. I gotta close this position.
You're a wizard, Harry. Potter.funko. Packs are 15 for a standard, and darn, 25,000 out of 31,000 have already opened. See the premiums, the big boys, $44 and 27 out of 31,000. There's not a lot of these packs left. I think these sell way better than the ones that they only done in drop market. I also didn't participate in that one, and I don't know. I guess we can just go to the drop market and see what it costs there. Drop shop. That's the Disney one. Yeah, these ones are cheaper already. The Mickey and Friends is a $12 pack and a $40 pack. This is 15 and was it 45? 44. 44.90. We'll call it 45. So I do think much more people use Atomic Hub than use the drop shop. So it's better for secondary volume. What you selling for, Grail? Hot damn, 7,000 wax, $400, $393 for the cheapest Grail. I don't even think this is that cool of a Funko. Harry Potter with gills and Grindylow. Grindilo. Grindilo. I guess people want it. Not so much for me. Let's see what the legendaries. $40 is the cheapest one. Floor Delacour. The air bubble mask. I do not even remember this character. I also haven't read or seen these movies in like a decade, so. Cedric Diggory. I remember him as a character. Yeah, I don't know. These aren't my favorite. Even if I like wanted to get Harry Potter stuff, I think I just want kind of like a plain Harry more than a underwater Harry.
Underwater Harry.
Merperson's pretty sick.
Isn't that where he cheats? Oh yeah, that guy's fucking evil.
Reminds me
What
of this reminds me of Sea of Thieves. The evil mermaid.
Oh yeah. Although aren't the mer people like friendly in Theos? There's some friendly and some not.
No, they're not. They added them to the game, so if you like try to swim too far from your ship, they just start spawning and attacking you in the water, and they are annoying as shit.
Oh, they don't help you back to your ship anymore like they used to?
Well, I mean, there is like a stationary teleporter one, but
yeah,
when like the Pirates of the Caribbean update came out, they added evil mer people that attack you, and they actually really mess up PvP because like part of the strategy of PvP is you could just like shoot in the water and you only had to worry about sharks, and sharks were pretty manageable if you were good at the game. So they added these, so it's like you can't get as far from your boat and just like go free water, which made it harder to board other ships. Victor Crumb, the one that I think is the coolest, is by far the most. 66 is the cheapest one. That's pretty expensive for a legendary. $40 is like, I don't know. That's not cheap because like a lot of them I think go for like $30, but
yeah,
that's like manageable. But 60 for Merperson's 51, and then 66, and then the Grail is super expensive. The Grail is $392 is the cheapest one. That's why people are paying so much for those packs, I bet.
Those that's like more than most Grails go for.
Yeah. And yeah, they're selling for... This one's listed well
they're also
above
being
what
ripped, like,
sold for. But they're selling consistently for $300, 5,800 wax. So... they selling. They got to be doing a lot of aftermarket volume on this collection right now. Let's see this.
For real. I saw that too. I was like, yep, this is popular, dude. They definitely got it.
Open a new tab. You're a wizard, Harry. I want to.
Wizard, Harry.
$28,000 in the last 24 hours. $60,000 total. I think that's what, 2 days because of the launch yesterday. So they're going hard.
Yeah, they are.
Honestly, I feel like back when they first started dropping, though, this is not that uncommon for like the volume they'd be doing.
That's true.
Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'm pretty sure did like insane volume on the first day.
Yeah.
I was also looking like
that was part of that.
The Mickey packs are significantly cheaper. It's like $16 for a standard pack for Harry Potter and $45. And these are 11 or 12 and 40. So people are definitely. I don't even necessarily know that Harry Potter is the better property, but I do think people just use this marketplace less, the drop market.
Yeah, people are definitely into it.
Even saw my Market Watch page to have both drop. Is that on your website? Let's check it out. Honestly, I haven't been to Pop and Stock in a minute. Market Watch, there we go. Collection.
Ooh.
Oh, that's You're saying it shows you the prices between, so you can potentially arbitrage. That's an interesting.
Oh, that's kind of dope.
Harry Potter. There we go. So standard pack is $16 on drop and $15 on Atomic Hub. 46 and 45, and then you can look at the individual cards. I bet the Grails are going to end up being the ones that are. Yeah, here we go. The cheapest Cedric Diggory was 60 on Atomic Hub, and then it's only 50 if you go buy it with USDC on drop. So you could potentially buy it and then bridge it over to Atomic Hub and sell it. And then the Grail also is $359 on drop and $392 on. I feel like the other way is better though if you can get it, because I think less people use the drop marketplace. So if you can get something for cheaper on drop and move it over to Atomic Hub, I feel like that'll move faster. And now that you can, they recently changed it so you can. I don't know if that's live or it's coming live, but they made it so Polygon USDC works and not just Ethereum based USDC. So
yeah,
it should be significantly cheaper to move over USDC. So that would make arbitrage more possible. So if it's a $10 move, it's like that's how much it's going to cost you to get USDC over to drop probably. But you can probably do it for like under $1 if you're on Polygon. Let me see what their announcement says for that. And the drop server. Oh, they just released a blog. Let's read that. Digital Pop in 2024. As we kick off a new year, we're excited to share some quick thoughts about 2023 and a glimpse of things to look forward to this year. A look back. Last year was a big year for the Digital Pop program. We launched 20 drops. Damn, that's like almost 2 a month. Including such fan favorites as Funko April Fools, DC's The Dark Knight, Funkoween, Dungeons & Dragons, Stranger Things, and Back to the Future. We were also hard at work at rebuilding Drop, Digital Pop's home, from the ground up to lay foundation for the next evolution of the platform. The first major improvement was the launch of the Drop Marketplace, giving fans the ability to buy and sell their Digital Pop in an all-in-one platform that focuses on speed and ease of use for collectors of all experience levels. Looking ahead, forward to 2024, we're hitting the ground running with new features and improvements to Digital Pop and the Drop platform. We're also super excited about the Drop schedule with new brands, as well as bringing back some of the existing names for new series with some special surprises in store. Changes and features. You can expect to see changes to our pack offering, starting with the introduction of a 17-item premium pack. This gives our collectors who buy premium packs 2 additional Digital Pop for the same price as the prior premium pack. I believe the pack odds got worse though. They added new slots, but now you're less likely to pull good stuff out of all of the slots. So that's kind of a,
Oh, I see.
Don't know if that's good. If the legendary and grail chances are lower and you're just more likely to get commons, then I'd have to go do the math for that. But I saw people talking about that on the Atomic King server. Additionally, we're excited about new features and changes that will enhance the collecting experience even further. Marketplace improvements. Since we've launched Drop Marketplace, we've considered a limited preview of what our vision for a full-fledged marketplace. We've been collecting feedback and prioritizing against our core set of features yet to be built, and we believe we have a great list that our buyers and sellers will appreciate. One of the first improvements we are prioritizing early this year is the addition of new blockchain networks for depositing and withdrawing funds. I feel like WAX should be one of the first ones they add, right?
Right. Would be nice.
Shipping. Polygon's not bad though, as far as like
Polygon's good.
Thank you for the raid, Las Vegas 8. We're looking at the updates to the Drop platform, which is Funko's parent company, I guess. They're not parent company, Funko's digital
child
company. Yeah, child.
Funko's branch into NFTs.
Yeah, they're digital. Double.
Wait,
Yeah, thank you.
double up, maybe.
Shout
The
out to
stragglers.
Las Vegas Ape. We appreciate the raid.
Yeah.
Hope you all had a good time over there.
Welcome.
We're chilling for Wax Wednesday. We're
Happy
looking at the
Wax
Harry
Wednesday,
Potter
yeah.
drop. Look at
Yeah,
all those
might
Harry
actually
Potter
have to try out
guys.
this Music Mogul too. Now that they nerfed all the costs for it, but we can talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, I was gonna look at that in a minute. I have all that pulled up.
Dope.
Yeah, the Harry Potter drop's going real well. The Grail right now is where it's the cheapest one is 6,999 wax, which is pretty nuts. And we're also looking at
Pop and Stock.
Yeah, Pop and Stock made a website that tracks the difference in prices between the drop market and the wax markets, because Drop made their own market.
Yeah, and it's not
And
on
if
the
these-
same atomic standard, so it doesn't populate across other marketplaces when you're trading on Drop.
Yeah, and you use USDC to buy it instead of wax. So this is showing you like the price in US dollars on Drop using USDC and the price in US dollars on wax. And you can see there's a few of them, like the Cedric Diggory with
Mocha Twitcher. Yeah, it's only Drop marketplace is only stuff that like Funko stuff, basically exclusive.
Yeah, it's only Funko stuff. And it used to be Ethereum USDC only, and they just changed it so you can now bridge over Polygon USDC, which makes it much cheaper and much more viable of an option to buy.
Actually usable to buy things that are like $5.
The NFTs are still atomic asset standards. You can bridge over any of the pre-existing anything that's on Wax from Funko. You can bridge over to their marketplace. It's just the listings are not using the atomic listing or whatever. They're using a different listing standard.
They're not broadcasting like normally when you make a listing on like Atomic Hub or NFT Blocks or Chain Champs or NFT Hives, it calls the atomic contract and it's like a bid or something listing function. So the way that their marketplace works, it does not call that function. And when you do call that function, it populates that, that transaction or that
yeah, we'd have to like test out listing
across every blockchain.
Track the asset and see what's happening on the blockchain. But
yeah,
it's still
that's kind of a
atomic
bummer,
asset
I think, though, because if they do onboard people into their own marketplace, it's hard for those people to find any other collections other than Funko, which good for them, not great for the rest of the community. But
I also don't blame them though, because how many scam collections,
I don't either.
how many scams versus legitimate collections are on Atomic Hub, and how many people got burned just buying into random collections you find in Atomic Hub? Somebody says they're launching a new game and it looks legitimate and it gets verified, and then they just rug pull. Like, that's not good for your customers. So, while it sucks for people like us who have collections on Atomic Hub who would love the Funko people to find us, I totally understand it from a like, there's, I don't know, it's dangerous to have a decentralized marketplace, and allowing people that know nothing about crypto to come over and participate in that is like, could burn your customers and they could not come back to buy your shit because they get burned on.
Definitely makes sense. I think that you're definitely right, because you don't want your customers exposed to a bunch of like shitters and bullshit. So it's nice that they're isolated. Yes, you are trading actual Wax NFT assets. The way that it works is they have their own like Drop marketplace. The only way to use it is with your Drop wallet, and the only things that you can basically import and list on the marketplace are NFTs from Funko. So that way it's like the marketplace listings are isolated to their own marketplace platform, but the NFTs that are being listed are not, isolated. Those are still Wax NFTs.
Some are. You can't.
So that's true. Actually, the Mickey Mouse ones are
the Mickey
isolated.
Mouse ones. These ones you cannot bridge into a decentralized wallet. They only exist on the Drop platform, but they are still using the atomic assets. They are still on Wax technically, but for the sake, it's just not decentralized. And that's, I think, because Disney does not want to allow their stuff to be decentralized. So it depends on the partners they're working with, and Disney's like notoriously protective of their IP. So I think, I also think Disney, did they not get a Grail with Freddy Funko? Let me see. I mean not the Grail, the royalty.
Oh, the royalty one. I think. Actually, I don't remember what the royalty one was. I thought it was a pretty cool one though.
Let me see if we can find.
But
Mickey Funko Digital.
It did make sense though, because sometimes their partners are going to want to do the digital asset thing, but not have it be just like Disney's doing, where like, oh yeah, we want to do a digital collaboration, but we have rules with our IP, and we don't want our IP, on a public blockchain, and therefore they're still able to service,
Yeah,
the
the
WAX
the
public
royalty
blockchain
collection is
and the
just a
private
Mickey
stuff at the
Mouse.
same time. Yeah,
It's a
okay.
conductor. Mickey Mouse is not a Freddy. And I feel like you can tell
Oh, okay.
the brands that are more protective of their IP will not allow
A Freddy.
a Freddy version of their stuff, which is rare, but
Yeah.
like a few of them have. And I feel like Disney's so anal that they're like, nah, we can't have a Freddy Mickey. It's just our stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely
Who owns
yeah,
Harry
it's
Potter?
basically like they have
Is that
their own UIs basically. They have like their own, like, instead of going to Atomic Hub or telling people to like log into whatever, it's like you make a drop wallet with your email through Drop, and you can sign into their marketplace and do everything like in a self-contained
honestly,
way.
I don't hate the part that I don't like is that
Yeah.
it doesn't accept wax. So you have to like it used to be you
Yeah.
have to go
That's
buy
the part.
Ethereum-based USDC, pay $10 withdrawal fee to get it. It's like I'm already burning money just to get money over here to buy stuff. When like Wax has
And
free
$10 withdrawal
transactions
fee doesn't make sense when the shit I'm buying is like a $20 or a $15 pack, which is like, wait, I'm spending like more than half the cost of what I want in a fee.
But honestly, if they
So that
added
was
Wax
one of
to their marketplace and I could just transfer Wax to my drop wallet and then buy stuff with
I'd
that,
use
then
that.
it's like I don't know. Centralization is my favorite thing, but I trust that Funko isn't going to like freeze my account or screw me in that way. And I think centralization is
Yeah.
fine as long as you trust the people who are making the centralized thing. Like Mythical is
Yeah,
very
centralization.
centralized for that game that I play, NFL Rivals, and I have no problem with the centralization. I can't bridge to decentralized wallet, and who cares? Like I can withdraw and deposit money easily, and they don't lock my stuff, and it just works. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's an issue as long as they're not. It's like I don't know. You can't do nefarious things because they can freeze your accounts if you're trying to like exploit the system. But that's also why it's centralization is good in a sense.
Yeah, and if an exploit is found and exploited, then they can roll it back because guess what? They are the centralized authority that decides what is and isn't immutable.
I've definitely changed
Unlike
my
public
opinion on.
networks.
So I used to be like, when people were like, "Oh, it's on Flow," I was like, "Fuck Flow. Flow is centralized. I'll never fuck with that." Now I'm like, for collectibles and gaming, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We've seen what happens with this decentralization, and it's people bought drops and like one wallet gets like 90% of the supply, and like I don't know. It's like that ain't it.
I don't know. It's definitely like, especially when you're not doing any kind of like post-mortem assessment of how your drops go as a big, property. Your drop might sell out in 5 minutes, but it all went to like 2 people. That's not, a good experience for your collectors. And so
it's also why I think Tops left Wax because they didn't like the decentralized drops. Their drops were a nightmare. And then on top of that, they want the 2% marketplace fees, like the marketplace fees that the markets take for buying and selling. They have a Wombat now, or NFT Hive, or NFT, or Chain Jams. And like having that option, which I don't know, I was ranting about a while ago in our Discord, maybe on our last stream, but I think Wax's strategy should have been to build something like Drop and give each major IP their own marketplace, like what VRL is, like make a better version of that, and then allow each of your partners to have their own and give them the market fees. And then I bet we wouldn't have lost Hot Wheels. I bet we wouldn't have lost Tops. I bet we wouldn't have lost like all the major IP that onboarded like a lot of the people that are still here today. So I was also saying, I was like, sure,
like Buzz King.
Farmers World onboarded a lot of people to Wax, but how many of them stayed after Farmers World collapsed? Like those people are only interested in a quick buck and ROI. And the second, like the Ponzi hype leaves, all those people bounce. Whereas the collectors, there's people who were collecting Garbage Pail Kids that are still active in Wax communities. Like the people that have stuck around are the people who kind of came here to collect stuff. And I don't know. So I think like the quality of user is much higher. And like, sure, Alien Worlds might have hundreds of thousands of transactions, but they're all bot farms. And it's like, is that really what you're trying to cater to instead of real people who are potentially customers, not just ROI? Like, I don't know. In order for any products to be successful, you need people who want to buy them and not just profit off of them. And obviously both happens in crypto. Like there's people who buy Funko just to sell them and try to flip them. And there are people who are only interested in the financial gain aspect of it. But you need a mix. You need other people that are buying them just because they want to collect them. And you can't have all one. Like you can't just have all investors. You need customers. And I feel like Funko onboards customers. And like same with MLB and like top stuff. They onboarded people that are just trying to buy stuff because they want to collect it and they love it. And I would like to see more of that on Wax, and less of people who are just here to like flip stuff. And like that was our criticism of Woofy, the Woofy coin is like, yeah, like it might, even if it does onboard people on Solana, is it going to onboard the type of people who are actually going to support projects or just like pump and dump basically? And I don't know. Is what it is.
They're going after the meme. They're going after the meme coin crowd next, so that's also kind of not the right crowd in my opinion. But
we're also biased because we run a collectible brand. If we ran a pump and dump, I'm sure we'd love those people coming over and pumping our stuff. But
yeah, that's true.
We make collectibles, and we're not. I don't know. We don't sell ROI. We don't sell market share. We don't sell like buy your stuff if you like it and you think the art's cool and you want to support us and you want cool stuff in your wallet. Like, or we have stickers too now. If you want physical stickers that you can stick on your stuff, we make sweet stickers. We make cool artwork. That's what we do. But yeah, I don't know. There's people. You can have both, but I think too much of one can kind of ruin it. But we'll see what happens. So I think, I don't know, the drop marketplace, as much as it's like not great for third-party collections, I think it was a very smart move for Funko, and I think that should be offered to like all major IPs that want to come onto Wax, and that would definitely, I think, have them stick around. And I think the marriage that works the best is centralized with the option to be decentralized.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Everything except the Mickey drop. If you can buy it through their platform and then say, hey, I want to take the risk to go into the wild west, the rough seas of Web3 and the decentralization, and I can handle it. I'm not afraid of scammers and all that stuff.
Yeah,
then you can go bridge it over and you can mess around with an Atomic Hub. But the point of sale is centralized, and then you can also keep it there. So you can do either. I think that's kind of like what works the best, and I would like to see more.
I agree. I think that's the kind of like best of both worlds, and I think they're doing a really good job with that at Drop. Like that's a really good like user experience, the way that they're like, and I think the drop participating in the drops has gotten like less shitty because of their innovation in that on that like direction. Like
they've also
I had like 30 tabs open, and I was like 2 million years away from getting my like I don't know, like I found more recent drops to be less difficult to catch, even though this one was pretty fucking intense.
It's also not like it's because it stopped being like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like everything's 6x the second you bought it. And there's been so many Funko drops that like you can't just guarantee. Some packs go down in value after you buy them. So like, I don't know. It's not a guaranteed flip, so people aren't willing to just bet on it in the same way that they used to be, which also I think is healthy. Like, again, like people should buy stuff because they like it, not just because like everything 2x's after the drop. I don't think that's really healthy. So that's bad for the buyers, like the people that actually want to hold the stuff. Because what happens is it peaks when they buy it, and then it just slowly falls off over time because that was all artificial demand. And what happens is the people who don't want it all profit. The people who actually do want it and hold on to it all get screwed. So it's like, as far as your customers and actual collectors goes, that's bad for them. And it's like, people are like, oh, I want my stuff to moon. It's like, well, if you don't want to sell it, that's not, like, if you're buying and not selling, that's not good for you. And that's like the actual customers and supporters of the project. So if you're looking after your own customers and your own supporters, like, sure, it's good for your secondary market when all that stuff gets flipped and rebought, but like that's going to turn away your real customers. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's more healthy for the project that not every drop sells out, and that's what Chucky's saying. And honestly, they still usually, when the drops close and a bunch get burned, they honestly either retain or go up a little bit generally. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
do pretty good at holding their value.
Like, yeah,
I've seen that. At least before the redemption happens, they do relatively well. Funko is not like a crazy high risk speculation.
That's also true.
Compared to some of the other ones.
Redemption happens, everything tanks in value, which is something that if I am going to criticize Funko, that's the one thing I think they could really work on is doing stuff with the digital side of their collection.
Yeah,
it's very physical oriented.
Redemption.
It's like you're only buying the digitals to try to get the lottery ticket to get the physicals, and there's no real reason most people want to hold on. Not just a real reason, but like the supply is just whack. Because like
the supply is whack.
People are buying, like you're buying over and over and over for small chance at the thing you want. So you have like 10x the stuff you don't want than the thing you want. And then there's just a shit ton of the lesser rarities that some people might want to collect them and hold on to them. But in order to get the higher rarities, you have to get more than anybody wants. So I don't know, some sort of burn mechanism or even like
anything that's like just something that's like to give utility to some of their digital assets after the redemption happened would be fun, even if it is just like nonsense.
yeah, anything besides dropping like one NFT, not even based on holding a set, but it's like if you just happen to have the Robin from the Dark Knight set, then I don't think Robin's in the Dark Knight, is he? Just how much I know
But
about the IP.
no, Robin's not part of Dark Knight. Yeah,
Whoever
but yeah,
Bane from the Dark Knight set, if you're holding him, will drop you like a Freddy Ranger, like, but only that one card and that one rarity has nothing to do with like sets or.
yeah.
But
It would be cool to be like, even if it was just as simple as like if you've held a royalty set of a collection for a full year, you get like a NFT like holder of this for a year or some shit, like something to tie in the collection like aspect of it. Like I've held my full royalty set of TMNT since the drop. Like I got that shit on drop day. I ended up selling the redeemable, but I kept all the NFTs, and I love
I still
like
have my
having the
full
full
Iron
set.
Maiden set. One of the only
Yeah,
people that was collecting Iron Maiden. I feel like that was like the biggest flop they had at the time, and I was like with the hardest on it. But honestly, it worked out for me. I got packs for the drop price or maybe even cheaper. So if people want to overbuy and sell their stuff for cheaper, that's again, it's good for actual collectors. So
yeah,
the Harry
no
Potter one's
doubt.
doing real well though. Like,
Definitely. I feel like if you bought that drop, you're probably not sweating anything.
why the hell did this thing pop? I like just watching it populate. Populate. Lord Voldemort. Albus Dumbledore. Yeah, I think Funko's doing a really good job as far as major IP. Like, I don't know. It's easy to criticize, but like compared to say Atari or William Shatner, like there's so many brands that came to Wax and just did like one or two drops and then just literally fucked off and did nothing ever afterwards. Like them still building and like having even just like the redeemables is like huge compared to what any other IP did on Wax. Other IP just did like digital drops and then nothing else and then left. So sticking around and
Yeah,
building their own marketplace, like they've onboarded more people to Wax than any other project in the last 2 years, I'm willing to bet. And I
I
think
would
they've been
agree with
great for the
that.
chain. So personally, I'd like to see more the Wax team working on getting more partners like Funko, but we'll
Yeah,
have to see
like
if that is
like
in the
you
cards.
said, like see what it is, see what Funko's done and what it is they need, and then do that for your next partnership so that the partners have a better experience and don't just fuck off. Like build them
Wax team didn't
a
onboard Funko though.
marketplace or
Funko
something.
is onboarded by Aloha EOS. I think it's Aloha
Oh
EOS,
wow.
or maybe it's just Aloha. But they're the ones that made Token Head, and then Token Head has the partnership with Funko. And it said it took them like 2 to 3 years to onboard Funko. Like it was a long negotiation.
Damn.
And yeah, that wasn't even like the last. I don't know what the last thing the Wax team onboarded, but it's been literally several years since like the Wax team. It's probably
Right.
a NASCAR. NASCAR might be the last one that they onboarded.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wasn't Ultraman or the Beast?
That was Atomic.
Oh,
Atomic
that
Up.
was
That was not
Atomic Up. Yeah,
Wax.
yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right.
And then they went out of business, so I don't know if that was the best decision.
Yeah,
Then
maybe
they
not.
went bankrupt and sold to Wombat. So I'm guessing that was not a super profitable business move. All the
Yeah,
numbers are
maybe
out there
not.
wide, and they come up with some blends of burns. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like for
They
a
should.
little bit of effort, you could come up with a way to burn a lot of the commons. Because collectors, there are collectors that like collecting stuff. It's just there's too many of the lesser rarities because everybody's just going for the redeemables. So I do think
Yeah, exactly.
they
It'd be
could even
fun.
do like you could even blend for like you get the tokens in the packs. They could do a thing where like
Yeah.
you can blend X amount of cards for a token and then allow you to use those tokens to like purchase things. I feel like that'd be cool too.
Right. Yeah. There's some sort of fun like nonsense.
They
That'd
could
be
even
fun.
like I don't know if they made like a simple like flash based game. They could make like an arcade, a Funko arcade, and then you could use the coins in the
Right.
arcade, and that way you're not just like minting more shit and oversupplying. Like you're just getting rid of, and it's like, hey, if you want to stick a quarter in this machine and play a game for fun, like, and even if that's not
Yeah.
like going to
Be
get
on the Funko
the
arcade leaderboard.
ROI crowd that's trying to get rich, it's still something. Like Even if you had something
I'd play
like
that game. Fuck, I'd do a couple of burns of my dupes.
I feel like
It'd be
even
fun.
something like what I Make Stupid Games is working on, where you have like the fun. I don't know. We'll see
Yeah.
if they do anything with that stuff. I still think they're doing more positive than negative by like. I mean, I don't know. What's the last collectible collection outside of Funko that people have gotten excited about on Wax? It's been years since we've had anything, and they're kind of like the heartbeat that's keeping Wax alive. So I don't want to be overly critical, but
I have to agree. I think that is like Funko is the majority of what people are on Wax for at the current time here. I'm excited to see how that, how the meme coin crowd shows up for this whole Woofy thing at the end of the month. And I do agree with what Potter is saying.
The snapshot's in like 1 week, so we should go over that. But
yeah, that's pretty relevant. But I agree, kind of like I'm not the biggest fan of meme coins, but I do think it is kind of uniting the Wax community a little bit, and it's fun to see like they're supporting creators and like indie projects and stuff in the space with this like meme coin thing.
I also wouldn't like I don't know. We're not suggesting people ape into it, but like
yeah,
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of meme coins, but like from the perspective of like trying to get rich off of them, I don't really think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But I do think if you're like, I have a bunch of Banano. I have thousands and thousands and thousands of Banano. I never paid for any of it. I got it from like folding, and you can get it from like interacting with their community. And if you can for free interact with stuff and that gets you the token, like I don't really see the harm in that. I think the second you start selling it as an investment and telling people they're going to get rich, that's when it becomes predatory and like, I don't know, stay away from
that's
that.
That's how Dogecoin started for me, dude. I got my first 1 million Dogecoins from talking to people on Reddit and them like tipping me and throwing like Dogecoins around, and I threw millions of them around too because it was worthless and it was fun. But today, 1 million Dogecoin is a lot of money. But back then it was like no one, like you weren't holding those tokens or doing anything with them that had any sort of like sense of this is a value thing. It was more just like, oh, hey, thanks for telling me that. Here, have 10,000 Dogecoins as like a I
that's
appreciate.
How
it's like an
works
upvote
too.
Yeah,
and also
it's
if
like an
we didn't do Banano,
like.
we wouldn't be on Wax. Banano led us to Alien World, which led us to Wax. So like, I don't know,
exactly.
Interacting with free tokens can actually like it's literally first-hand experience is how I found Wax. So it's like saying
that's a really good point. I have not thought of that. Yeah,
and
that's
it
true. We
might not onboard a ton of people from Solana, but if it does onboard people to Solana, the way you get it for free is by interacting with all their partners. So like the fact that they are partnering with a bunch of games and communities, and if the people from Solana do come over, that gives exposure to Wax projects. So I don't think it's like the worst thing for the ecosystem. I do dislike meme coins in general, but as long as they're not promoting it as a way to get rich and like encouraging people to buy it necessarily, if there's like, hey, like interact for free and go unlock this by like
some coins,
chatting on this Twitch or by playing this game, even if it's a clicker or whatever, like I don't think it's the worst idea to create engagement and promote projects that have been running on Wax. There's also
like you see, if you're watching the stream right now and then you enter our giveaway, we might give away some Woofy tokens in the future just because it's fun. Like I don't
assuming
know.
They give us
not
some.
Because
we are listed as a partner now, or a community partner. If you see.
Oh yeah, I'm blocking it here.
Ourselves.
I'll move myself.
There we are. They linked our website, and I believe they're going to send us tokens to give away. Godzilla. But the specifics of that are not clear. Like they didn't tell us what they're giving us for being a partner, but they asked what you would do with tokens if they gave them to you in the partner thing we filled out. So I assume they're going to give us tokens to give away. So we'll probably give them out on stream on our Wax Wednesday streams. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's a fun thing. Again, we're not trying to say buy this token, it's going to make you rich. I would actually say the opposite. Don't buy the token. Like if you can get it through playing these games. I also wouldn't say buy into the games just to get the token. Like if it happens to be a free-to-play game or something you're already doing and you want more of the token, like have fun with it and try to get it that way. And like Wax on Edge, which is a kind of a DEX, but more like an aggregator of DEXs, made by shout out to Wax
trade router.
He's probably gonna like for using his platform somehow incentivize it and give you woofy for it. So it's like, yeah, if you're like already trading on one of these platforms and
If
there's
you're
like
already trading
kickbacks,
on
then why
Alcor and
not?
stuff, might as well get kickbacks from it. All right, that's fun.
But
I
yeah, I
like
do
all that.
think approach with caution because I do think shilling meme coins is like not
Yeah, a good way to get
the
fucked.
smartest thing or like the safest thing. And a lot of people could get burned on this because they're just giving out a metric shit ton for free. So if you're buying it, you're becoming somebody
Yeah,
else's exit liquidity because people are getting it for free to sell. So just be careful about
yeah,
that. But if you approach it as if this is fun and like I'm not buying it and there's just different ways to interact with communities to unlock it, then I don't really see the harm there personally. But I do think
yeah.
you just got
Plus,
to be
while we're on the
safe with how you
topic,
approach it.
if you have wax in your wallet, you'll get at least 1,000 wax in your wallet. You'll get airdropped some of these tokens at the end of the month. So that's another thing. It's like you don't even have to interact with anything. As long as you on wax, you have I think the threshold is 1,000 wax minimum in a wallet. It can be staked or it can be liquid. It can't be in liquidity pools or in limit orders on Alcor, stuff like that. But as long as it's in your wallet or it's staked from your wallet, it should count towards your airdrop. And then there's a range like Lewis has pulled up on the screen here where you'll get an amount of tokens. If you have 1,000 tokens, if you have 2,000 wax tokens, you'll get the airdrop for the 1,000 and for the 2,000, all the way up to 10,000. So if you have 10,000 tokens in a wallet, you'll get airdropped tier 1 through 10, all of those tokens. But if you have 15,000 wax in that same wallet, it has capped out at 10. So if you
If you have, I think
are
a better
unaware of
example
this,
is if you have 20,000 in one wallet, you might want to consider
yeah,
unstaking 10,000 and moving it to a different wallet for the snapshot because
yeah,
then you would essentially double your rewards if you're interested in the rewards. But some people in our community have
yeah.
mentioned if it's not worth anything, you might lose more by unstaking it in the because you
That's true
get
because you'd be missing out on 3 days of stake rewards, and 10,000 wax at 3 days is about 6 wax. So if whatever you get airdrops to you for having 10,000 wax in your wallet is worth less than 6 wax, you're better off keeping your wax staked.
I'm
So
personally gonna
roll the
split my
dice.
wax up, but I don't know. I'm just doing it for fun. I'm not expecting to get rich off this. And I don't know. It's just a fun thing to participate in as far as like
Yeah,
it's free and you get it for holding wax, which I hold a shit ton of wax. So why not try to
yeah, exactly.
participate?
Why not? I have 2 wallets that I think I'm trying to get up to 10K wax in for the airdrop, and
I'm gonna make
we'll see how
another
it goes.
tea real quick. So I don't know, Max, if you have more thoughts on this, or you can pull up your screen. But I'll be back in
Okay,
like I'm gonna look at
we'll
music mobile
see.
when I get back. But this will be
I'll
give
share
me
some more
3
thoughts on
minutes.
this. Okay, well, my thoughts on it is like, oh, hold on, let me read some comments here. Same here. He says, yeah. Hopefully, get myself to do it. He says, oh, you might have to move so much from your ledger, though. Well, I mean, if it's on your ledger would qualify for the airdrop. So then you could just move the Woofy token from the ledger later and leave the wax alone. But you might be saying that you have to split the wax from one ledger wallet into multiple. Yeah, it's not so hard. I use my ledger almost as often as I use my hot wallets. It's actually pretty straightforward, but I know that people get a little irritated with having to do hardware wallet. Can you still submit wallets? There is no submit. It's a snapshot that happens at the last day of this month. So on the 31st of this month, it'll take a snapshot of every wallet on the Wax blockchain, and the qualifying conditions have to be met for you to then get the airdrop. So you don't actually have to do anything other than hold the wax in your wallet on the 31st.
They said they also said they'll do an announcement in their Discord when the snapshot happens, but they also say in this article, just don't move wax around on the 31st if you want to make sure you make the snapshot. So maybe just take that day off of moving wax around if you want to ensure that your wallet's on the snapshot. They're also not airdropping it on the 31st. That's when the snapshot is, and then the tokens will be airdropped at a date after that.
Eventual date, yeah. Tons of people have that. Yeah, that's true. Tons of people have 10,000 wax. And then the kind of nice thing about this is that, the major whales, if you don't split your wax into, like hundreds of wallets, then you don't actually have a huge advantage if you have 1,000,000 wax compared to someone with 10,000. Although, yeah, like you said, it's a lot of people are going to be getting it. That's why Lewis and I were saying maybe don't ape into it, don't buy it. If you're buying it, a lot of people are getting it for free. So if you're buying it, know that you're probably exit liquidity for somebody who got airdropped free stuff. Um, it's supposed to be like a for fun token, and the idea behind meme coins, like I was saying when it came to like Dogecoin for me, the idea wasn't like that I wanted to hold it or save it or eventually turn it into profit. The idea is that I now have some tokens and I can engage with the rest of the Wax community by throwing these tokens at each other or at games or at whatever,
If they add it to
and
like
not
tip
having to
bot,
worry
you
about
can
it.
tip people in
Yeah,
Discord
exactly.
probably. Like, be like, hey, thanks for teaching me how to do this. I'm going to tip you 10,000 of this token because they're super cheap and I got them for free.
I kind of agree with Pop and Stock too, and I do think like they should have had a much higher tier to kind of entice some of the whales to do a little bit of a maybe do like 100K Wax tier, because you know especially if you do it in a way where like, hey, everybody who qualifies for tier 2 shares a pool of tokens from tier 2, and therefore there would be a pool of tokens in tier 100K, and the fewer wallets that only have 100K, the bigger your share of that pool would be, so you could get like whales to kind of like uh jostle for it by aping into more Wax tokens. They didn't do any of that though, so it would be nice if they tried to do it a little bit more to entice whales, because the whole idea I think is to bring some interest from Solana into Wax, because this Woofy token, which none of us have actually said yet, is planned on being multi-chain. So this token you will eventually be able to trade on Solana blockchain, and then in the future other blockchains as well. So it's not going to be Wax native, or not necessarily not Wax native, but not Wax exclusive, like a lot of assets on Wax
I
are.
think they're also going to. So if you look at, let's look at the distribution. I misunderstood how it was. I still think it's unclear, but they say 30% is the community airdrop, and I think this is like the first 10% of the 30%. So it's, what is that, 3%?
Yeah.
So this is only
So
3% of the
3%.
100%, which means there's still 27% left of community airdrops, which I don't know if that also means like to the partner communities. Like, I don't know how much we're getting and all the other partners, but I believe they're also going to be partnering with Solana communities and then distributing it to Solana wallets. So I think part of that, to try to entice the Solana crowd, is going to be through this distribution. I guess we'll just go through the distribution while we're here. 30% for community airdrops, 10% for developer integrations, aimed at fostering innovation and integration within the Woofy ecosystem by supporting developers. All of it's pretty vague. Like, I don't know what that means. 25% market development, focused on enhancing Woofy's market presence and platform dynamics. No idea what that means either. It's also a pretty huge percentage.
Focusing 10% on DEX good traders. Things.
This one's actually pretty obvious. This one's like liquidity incentives. If you provide liquidity, probably. Which also I think is dangerous because, again, I don't know if people are just going to be dumping this token. So if you're putting up your Wax against this in the liquidity pool to farm it, you might be in permanent loss from like the farm rewards being less than you're losing in the value of the tokens you're putting up. So be careful about that, but it will exist if you're interested in gambling on that. And then 5% initial liquidity. This is the Wax team's going to put up Wax against Wolf. I don't know what the price they're going to make is, but basically so you can immediately sell it if you get airdropped it, and that guarantees that there's at least some Wax in the liquidity pool. So you should be able to sell it as soon as it drops, but also I have no idea. And 20% for early contributors, and that's also early supporters. What does that mean? That could also be the partners. Like, I don't know. Maybe this 30% community airdrop is like only to wallets and to people on Solana and stuff. And then maybe the early contributors is all like these partners listed on their website. But it's kind of unclear, even though they wrote the distribution of who's getting what and how much.
It's the buzzwords. This is the way of crypto DNA, don't you know? It's this is like step 2. Step 3, profit.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't love the meme coins, and I also don't know that this is just going to suddenly attract a ton of money and people from Solana. But I do think, as far as like Wax spent, like they said, over $2 million to make Axis Zero artwork and like try to develop the game, and that never came out. And they ended up dropping, it was like the V, not the V bots, was it V punks or
V
I don't know,
punks,
like
yeah.
whatever one of their 5 profile picture things are. They spent millions of dollars, onboarded nobody, and ended up just sending them to people with multi-accounted Twitter giveaways. Like they're like, put your wallet here and we'll send you. It's like, I don't know. This is better than that. Like making a token is pretty cheap as far as like they're not spending a lot. A token contract on Wax is very, very cheap. So like making the token is super cheap. Their main advertising is just by giving it to free for a bunch of communities. They're going to give it to people on Wax and probably Solana. So that's pretty much free marketing. And pretty much the only Wax or money they're spending is Wax they're going to pair in the initial liquidity. So as far as like if they are going to be advertising to crypto degens and like ROI hunters, I think this is a cheap way to do it that could be productive. I'm not convinced this is going to be super productive, but yeah. I do think they've had worse strategies as far as like trying to build a metaverse that just cost them millions of dollars and never got made. So this
seems a pretty low cost way.
It's low
yeah,
cost.
And if you do put $1 million of counterpart liquidity up, then Jesus Christ, everyone can dump their tokens and it won't tank. So let's see.
DNA said he's been doing 6 hours constantly trying to craft in the new Solana R planet. That's Elementara.
Oh man, how's that ROI going, dude? Is it paying like crazy, like our planet days?
It's made by the people who were the promo R Planet community. If anybody remembers, they used to do like the drops in the Discord. They were all like the moderators in Discord too. They were like most of they were like pretty much the people running the entire R Planet community. Then they had a falling out because they wouldn't add their collection as a partner collection, and then they kind of just left Wax altogether. But they used to also stream for R Planet. They were like the team NFT people, and yeah, I don't know. They basically are just taking the crafting side of the R Planet game and redoing that on Solana. I think they're partnering with a bunch of collections that you can stake their NFTs to get the token and then use the token to craft recipes and stuff. So if you were into that, it might not be a bad.
I loved that racket
option,
back in the day. I got to stay away from it because I got sucked in pretty hard last time.
I'm kind of turned off from that whole thing. And also, they don't have a plan to make like a real-time strategy game. The end game is just the crafting. So it's like, I don't know. That seems like a not the end game that I'm interested in.
DNA is hooked. Oh man, you kind of make me want to try it.
It is. Woofy is coming out of thin air, and it's going to be backed by the initial liquidity put into the liquidity pool in Wax, probably on Alcor or whatever. They might actually split it between like Alcor and Taco Swap, since those are both DEX partners. But yeah, it's the only thing it's backed by is the initial liquidity the Wax team puts up, which who knows what that price is going to be. When you make a liquidity pool, you set how much it costs per Woofy, so we don't know what price they're going to say it costs. And also, my guess is everyone's going to try to dump. Not everyone, but a large majority of people are just going to try to sell it immediately when they get it. So we'll see how much it's backed by after people tank the price. But yeah, it's if they put 100 Woofy with 100 Wax, that would be a lot of money that they're probably going to lose.
I doubt it. Nah, it'll probably be much less. That's why people are saying if what you get airdropped is worth less than 6 Wax, you're better off keeping your stuff staked.
And that's all completely speculative. So again, I wouldn't invest anything. Like I wouldn't go buying 10,000 Wax because you expect this airdrop to be valuable. Like we have no idea what the price is going to be. It's a complete question mark. Like do it for fun if you just want to get some meme tokens and participate in the fun community fun of it. But I wouldn't consider this an investment, and I wouldn't go out of my way to spend a bunch of money to get this stuff. But who knows? Maybe it could moon. Like weirder things have happened.
Oh, that's true. It would have to stay at least above 1 Wax Toshi. So what? That's 8 decimal places away from 1 Wax. That's the maximum fungibility currently for Wax, or not fungibility, but precision for the Wax fungibility.
You can create a nonsense token out of thin air, but also we're going to say the exact same thing where I would not invest in this token, but if you can get it for free, get it and sell it, which is what we're suggesting.
This is totally what we're saying now too. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how helpful that's going to be for people buying into it, but sure, if you want to give us free tokens to give to people so they can sell them, then we're happy to do that.
Well, yeah, we'll say our honest opinion is, we're not big fans of meme coins, and there's no real value, and you shouldn't expect it to be worth anything. But if you can get it for free, what's the harm?
BuzzKing says, what are you going to sell Woofy for? Wax, and I assume the Wax team is going to pair the initial liquidity with Wax. That also
Yeah.
is not clear based on the article that we read. So whatever they pair it with, people are trying to sell it for. But
And then personally, yeah, I'd probably sell it for wax. I want some more wax. Maybe add it to my wax USDT LP. Maybe wax.
I know you're
Wombat
kind of
is paying
joking,
pretty
Chucky,
good.
but I do want to be clear that we're not telling people to buy this because I don't know. I feel a little weird promoting a meme coin in the first place, but I think as long
That's
as
true.
you're getting for free for fun, like that can't hurt. Like if you get something for
Yeah.
free, there is no risk there. Like what's the risk
Yeah.
of getting something for free? So the biggest risk at this point is if you need to unstake your wax to multi-account, and then you're risking the 3 days of stake wax that you're not getting, which also is a pretty minimal risk. So,
Pretty
and
low
also
risk.
if you don't like, maybe just don't do that if you're afraid of losing that wax, and then you'll just get the
Yeah. If
the
you
10
can't
K
handle
tier.
the six wax loss, which is 34 cents, maybe just chill.
I'm also probably gonna do this too, like because I'm probably gonna split it between a bunch of wallets. I have like 70K wax chilling on Ethereum still. I'm gonna bridge that over. I should have done it like yesterday. I think the price just went up. I'm gonna
That's kind of what
bridge
I'm
that
thinking
over.
too, honestly. Random came. I'm thinking like
I think I'm gonna sell
initially the
half.
price is probably gonna dump as everyone like tries to settle out, and once the initial crowd who wanted to dump right away has dumped, then maybe it'll kind of recover, and then we can buy back in and
I also
speculate on
I do want to hold some just
mechanism.
for fun, and I think it would be cool
That
to get
too.
like the
Me
tip
too.
bot going in our Discord and tip people with it and stuff. So
I'm into
I'll
that.
probably not
I'd
sell
fund
all
that
of it,
tip
but I'll
bot,
probably
dude. I
sell
like him.
a good chunk of it. Like I don't know. I'm gonna
At least half,
wait and
if
see
not like
when the airdrop's
90% of it.
happening. It's gonna be like a fucking fire sale. Like the second it gets airdropped to wallets, like you're gonna want to be early on selling that. But if I can get there like the very moment it drops and sell it quickly, I'll probably sell a good portion. But I do want to hold on to some of it
Race
just
to
for
the bottom.
funsies. Like I still have my banana. I never sold that. I'll have to go look at the wallet, but I have like thousands and thousands and thousands of banana.
What's banana worth these days?
I don't know. But I never bought it. Like I got it for free and I never really intended on profiting off of it. So like I don't mind just holding the meme coin. I also got a bunch from Bantiano.
Let me look.
Sent me some because I helped him get a land in Minecraft back when Uplift was a thing. Like I hooked him up with a plot that was right next to the Crypto Monkeys plot on. It was like a rail or something, and he like paid me a lot of banana for that, or gifted me a lot. It wasn't. I never asked for it. Just like, hey, like here's this. And he's like, oh, thanks so much.
1,000 banana is worth $4. $4.60. Not
it's 0.004.
terrible.
That's not horrible for me.
0.00. Yeah, so 1,000 is dollar is $4. 0.0045446 maybe. That's pretty dope. If you have 10,000, that's $45.
What's the banana wallet?
Isn't it just Nano? Like, isn't Banano a token on the Nano blockchain?
They have their own. Is it Killian the banana stand? I don't even know how to log into my banana wallet. This is not probably good.
Random King, we should ping you once we sell our Woofy, huh? I mean, maybe. I mean, the plan is I'll probably just sell it, when it gets dropped, and then possibly buy it back later. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, that might be right. Optic is saying the wallet could be called Kalium, Kail.
Is that iOS?
I remember they had
now?
I forget. I remember they had like a fucking potassium wallet or something too, like some banana pun.
It's telling me to download it. I was doing it through a browser, I thought. I don't know. I'll figure that out another time. I might have lost all my banana.
Oh, he says it's on iOS.
I don't know if I ever wrote down my seeds for that.
Oh no.
Yeah, I never used it on a phone. It was always on my computer.
I bet you could probably use like Simple Swap or something to turn it into wax.
I don't know if I can even access my bananas. I could probably see. I wonder if I ever screenshotted like how much I had. That was a long time ago. I haven't messed with banana in forever.
Right.
But I did send him. I can look at my wallet because I sent him. I'm looking through our text, and we were all talking about making our collab.
Yeah, I bet Wax was worth a lot of bananas back then, huh? Oh, what about Banana Vault? Banana
That
Vault.
sounds like
Optic
what it
says.
was.
Yeah, Optic says there's something. It says Banana Vault or something.
Band Vault. That sounds like what it was.
Oh, Band Vault. Yeah, okay. I'm adding an extra AN. ANA. Wapaka also dumped it in 2021. Doesn't remember. Yeah, I don't remember really either. I remember I was folding it for a minute, but then I just swapped back to mining crypto.
It says we found
an
encrypted seed in your browser storage. You can start migrating it to the banana stand. I think that would probably be it.
That sounds.
I'm not sharing this on my screen.
correct.
I like to fucking blast my seed for you.
No, I don't. No, we don't see it. Show us the encrypted seed. Although if it's encrypted,
it says something went wrong with the decryption. That's not good. I might have to hit up their support.
Well, as long as you have still the thing, maybe you can recover it somehow.
I might have written the seed down somewhere, but I don't remember if I did because I don't think I ever considered this like important enough to like.
Yeah, that's where I was at with my Dogecoin. I wish I had kept those. At one point, I had 6 million Dogecoin, and I was just like, whatever. These
I'll figure this out.
They're free tokens.
Free time. Let's run this.
Do I dare look up what that's worth
going,
today?
And then we'll,
what did I lose on my Doge? What's 6 million Doge worth today?
Getting a music mogul and then let's do some deep investing.
Oh no, it's $473,000. Jesus Christ.
I remember you used to gamble like 100,000 of those at a time or something.
Yeah, I used to gamble like 1 million of them at a time. Like, fuck me, dude. Should have not done that, huh?
You wouldn't have held them even if you did gamble.
I wouldn't have held them, but 1 million today would be $79,000. It's not healthy to think of that way. I wouldn't have held them. You're totally right. I mean, I didn't hold them. I fucking just let them get lost. At one point, I think I traded quite a few of them into red coin, and then I think I ended up trading the red coin into something else. Wax, maybe?
I traded most of my red coin into wax. Then I think about our planet land with it. We should sell the wax.
Yeah.
Tree frog nada. Congrats.
Way to go. Oh, and you're dodging every... Never mind. You're still getting sliced.
Shout out to your family.
King Crypto's pulling back a little bit. God, that was fucking brutal this morning, just running up.
We will send you. What do we got to give away? We got to do another collab so we have more neon stuff to give away.
Yeah. Let me think about it.
I wonder if these are worth anything. Cool. How are these still worth 78 cents? Are you in here, Tree? I'll say,
how are they?
What? Like absolutely useless, but you can sell them for decent. So I'll send you one of these. We'll send you something else that's fun to collect because that literally you can get everything in this pack for free if you just click a button in the interface. So they're like completely useless, but they sent us a ton of them. But I 100% recommend you list this and sell it.
Yeah, I looked through. I claimed like our wallets like royalty for Neon Space the other day, and I saw that we still have a bunch of like TD mugshot NFTs in there. Like, what is this?
I think we might still have the Crypto Monkey ones too.
No, yeah, maybe. I didn't scroll down too far. It was just a bunch of TD.
We've got a ZOS starter kit, and ZOS is no longer a game, I don't think, so that's cool. Oh, we have Alien World stuff. This is always...
Oh, Alien World stuff is fucking dope.
Wow, that's worth like nothing. We do have an Epic, though. This is worth $8.
There you go. That's pretty solid.
I haven't looked through this. Oh man, we have a Looty pack. $92 is the lowest listing. I need to send these back to Starcadia.
Yeah,
Starcadia
what
guy,
else?
like, do not. I don't know. He's been harassing people on Wax a bunch, and like, he's like, I sent you a bunch of free shit, like promote my stuff. And I was like, on my main wallet that he sent me all the free shit, I just sent it all back to him. I was like, hey man, like I'd rather not have this than you pressure me. Since we've been talking about crypto
Yeah.
monkeys, let's give away our neon.
Yeah,
monkey.
give the Crypto Monkey a monkey stack. That's our collab with Crypto Monkeys. That's
Boom.
dope.
I think we have more of these in the main wallet, unless you sent them over. I can't remember. I guess we can
Might
look.
have sent them over. I think I sent them over a while ago.
We also need I don't think we have a way to sell wax right now, but it would be nice if we could sell some waxes. Our company needs
We have
money
like
to run.
$450, $500 or so in wax.
That would definitely
We have more
help
than
give us a
10,000
runway.
wax in that wallet. We'll get airdropped some woofy for it.
We can give that away.
We can give that away for sure. That'd be fun.
All right, sent. Let's see what. I'll check our wallet real quick just to see what's in it. Accounts.
The coolest thing in that wallet is a 1 of 1 from Waxel Ninjas. That was like specifically made for us. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah,
Neon
1 of 1
Ninja.
Waxel. Let's go. That's a cool one. Nobody has that.
You sent the.
Oh, okay. I thought so.
We do have an uplift plan that's worth $1.40. Holy shit, that's worth so little.
$1.40? Holy shit! Is that a 50 by 50 or a bigger one?
It's a 200 by 200.
Whoo!
Highest sale. Let's see. Does it say what we paid for it?
200 by 200.
Oh no, because we claimed this with the like the satellite thing.
Yeah, you're right.
But
I mean,
I'm sure we paid more for the satellite thing than that.
More than $1.50. That's for fucking sure.
All right. Anyway,
hold it. It's gonna be like $1,000 expo run. Yeah, dude. Win, baby. Uplift hurts my heart too.
All right. Next giveaway! Exclamation point neon if you want to join. Give away another neon monkey. Maybe I'll buy some more of those so we can give them away. I like those little neon monkeys. All right. The thing I wanted to talk about is the changes to Music Mogul.
Oh, yes. Let's go. I'm actually interested now. We gave the best possible advice last week where we were like, let's not wait. Let's just watch and see what happens. Because they nerfed the living fuck out of the cost. So like I think 9x
they also nerfed the results
than it was last week. Well, that's true. But at least I'm willing to spend like 1 common. I'm not willing to do 9 commons to roll the dice.
Yeah, it used to be you get 3 cred per common that you burn. And the cheapest room was 25, so you had to do 3 times 9 for 27 to have enough. And now to enter that same bronze room, it's 3. So every common gives you 1 roll in a bronze room. But they also reduced the cap. Or, I mean, yeah, you could get an S+. So you could get the highest grade song out of the cheapest one. Now the highest you can get is a B-. So if you're only spending 25, if you're only spending 3, there's no chance you get anything better than a B-. So you're probably going to get a bad song, basically. And before you could have gotten an S+. So even though it costs less now, technically, like in order to get an S+, now you have to pay $725. So now it's actually much more expensive to get the highest tier song. So if anybody got an S tier or an A tier song last week, it was actually a good move to have done it early. So if you would have done it and not submitted it,
that's true.
You would have paid significantly less for it. So it's a little bit of both. But now at the very least, you can enter the competition for 1 common instead of having to burn 9. And I think if you time the right week, a B- might be good enough to be top 500. And then you would get your 10 for cheaper. So unless you're getting the top tier stuff, which was super rare and you needed like 5-star guys anyway, it's probably better to enter later. But yeah, now the silver costs 10 instead of 80. The gold costs 42 instead of 210. The platinum costs 104 and the diamond costs 228. And they got new drop percentages. Basically, the commons are less common, and now like silver and gold are more common. Diamond's actually
it does feel a little over. It's a little aggressive of a correction. I kind of agree with that. I haven't played yet Random King, but this is the price point where I'm willing to kind of roll the dice. I think I'll let you know how I like it.
They might change it again. This is all subject to change, so
Yeah.
Enter with caution. You're burning assets you'll never get back for something that might change next week. But this is definitely within, like, I don't know. I was bummed I had to burn 9 assets to even try to play once. Burning 1 asset just to roll the dice, even if best thing I can get is a B minus. If less than 500 songs get submitted, a B minus will get you there. So I might try for one of the rarer genres for that. And I actually have that pulled up here. Competition 1 is Pop, January 22nd. That's right now it's happening. Next week, January 29th, is Hip Hop. Rock is on February 5th. Dance is on February 12th. And Country is on February 19th. And then that cycle just repeats continuously. So there's 5 different genres. Every week it'll repeat after that. So if you want to try to be sneaky.
Oh, yeah, here. Random King, I said that at this price point, I'm interested in trying it, but so far I haven't tried it yet. So I'll let you know how I like it once I actually do try it.
I'm also not probably going to try this week because since they reduced the price, there's now 710 tracks submitted.
That's
if you look at the
many.
rewards,
I can't compete.
Only the top 500 get anything. So if you're at rank 600 or 700, you're getting nothing. So you could burn one of your commons, get nothing back. And at this rate,
although you could burn one of your commons, get a song and not submit it too. So there is the whole aspect of that. But yeah, I'm not sure if I want to try it just yet. I'm still waiting for it.
Pop is the most common genre with the best cards, so it's the most competition.
Yeah.
So personally, I'm going to wait.
I'm going to wait for the R&B because I have a good R&B, like one of 16, like legendary or whatever R&B guys. So I'm going to try using them. And see how I do.
Yeah, we're only 3 days in, and there's already 700. So yeah, at this rate, if it keeps going, there'll be like 1,400, which means 1 in 3 people will get it. And if you're doing a bronze 2, you're going to get B minus. So like, you're competing against all the people that didn't submit last week that were able to get higher than that for a bronze room. So it might be, I don't know. I personally probably going to wait. Rock is probably where I'm going to go the hardest because I have a 4-star rock artist, and rock is like one of the rarest genres. So I'll probably do one for R&B, see what happens, and then go a little harder for rock. Like I might do the higher grade studio. I might do a silver studio that costs 10.
That's what I'm thinking too, because I have the epic or whatever rarity guy, so I'll probably get like the second tier up, so I can not have to compete with like everybody who has a common.
But it's also RNG, so you might not get a B plus, even though the cap's there. But the good news is, actually, that's not true. People could have done rock in the other genres when it was 25 and then gotten higher. But I still think there'll be less people getting the higher tiers in rock, personally. But we'll see. I don't know what people did last week. You can't see like all the songs that exist. And then the other thing they pulled up was cost and C notes. So these are commons, campus tours. You would pay. Actually, I think they buffed all this because it used to be like it cost like 4 C notes and you're getting 4 cred back, which is like, that sucks because it cost me 25 to do a thing. But now like you can submit way more because like use the commons. Morning radio is uncommon, so rare. If you have a 3-star, the best tier you can do is it costs 15 C notes and you get 45 back. Or if like the worst one you could do is it costs 10 and you get 25. So if you get in top 500, you get 10 C notes, and that will earn you 25, which allows you to do, if it costs 3 per thing, that's like 7 songs.
Yeah, and for context, right now C notes are trading on Alcor for about 28 wax. So if you get 10 C notes, that's 280 wax.
But there's an actual like, I don't know, the progression to grind now makes way more sense because they boosted how much cred you get back and reduced the cost of cred to make new songs. So now it's like more playable of a game, but that also means more competition because if more people are cranking out songs, it's going to be harder to get top 500. So
yeah, I do kind of wish that this like establishing the meta for a game wasn't part of like the actual on-chain gameplay. Like this, I feel like balancing the like economy should have been like something that I don't have to do with my real assets. But here we are, and
you can always wait.
That's kind of like that's true. I can just wait. That's true. I don't have to do it, but it's definitely very early, and we're clearly going to keep adjusting the meta as as these what is it called? As the genres shift.
There's also, actually, these might also be rare. I don't know. It doesn't say what rarity it is, but like when you get to the higher rarities, Like this one. And you can also see it's RNG when these pop up. So there's like 5 different music awards. You get 50 for 150, or if you get good RNG, it could cost 60 and you get 240. So this is a 3-to-1, this is a 4-to-1. So you can get better rewards, and those refresh every 12 hours. So if you keep logging in, like it might be worth waiting to get the better one.
Yeah, it might be.
But also C notes, like 60 is kind of a lot. Most people aren't going to have that right now. So I feel like realistically, you're probably going to want to do the one that's 10. The best you can get for 10 is 25, which is still a 2.5x, which is not that much worse than a 3x. So if you get lucky, and I don't know what rarity these are, that's probably 2 or 3 star. But yeah, I don't know. That's very much more realistic as far as like what the fuck, like if you get top 500, you get 10, and then you can't even do another song because it costs 25 to get in the worst recording studio. Like, or like,
yeah,
like
that
it costs
used
10.
to be like,
yeah,
nuts.
So they buffed
so
it.
They definitely are balancing it, so it's nice to see the progress. And like, I'm tempted to just roll the dice for shits because I want to see how it goes, but I think I'm gonna wait and let it kind of like settle a little bit more until I
See,
can
honestly,
do the
even
math.
if there's 1,000 tracks submitted, that's a 50% chance that you're gonna be in top 500. I mean,
So for
I'm
me,
sure
the main reason I'm really waiting is that I would rather try this under R&B because I have better R&B characters than I have pop, and fewer people have that good of characters in R&B. So I'm gonna go for that.
at the end of the day, this game is gambling. Like it's a slot machine.
Yeah, it's a slot machine.
But there is strategy within when you put the money into the slot machine. So I don't know. I wish it gave us more information too. Like it doesn't tell you the grade of these songs. So we don't know if a B minus song would get you in the top 500 right now. Like maybe it's not even possible to get top 500 with a B minus, and it's a complete waste of submitting if you get a B minus song, which is the best you can get for the cheapest studio. So it's like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I wish
the launching Random King's right too. The launch of the game has absolutely motivated the secondary market again. Like it's moving, people are engaging again with it. It's nice to see. Even
I just don't know.
You know,
and this is a big conversation I was having in NFL Rivals the other day. I don't think
Yeah.
I'm not sure if motivating the secondary market is more important than a good user experience. Like if most people are losing and have to burn money, and that's why your secondary is going up. Like I don't know. It's like, is it worth sacrificing the gameplay for and making a game that's not fun to play just because it makes the market go up? Like I don't really think that should be the point of video games, in my opinion. But Rivals, the problem right now is there's not enough prizes for the amount of players. Like the player base has gone up 10x, and then the tournaments still give the same amount of rewards. So it's just like 10 times harder to get anything. It's creating so a bunch of people are spending money buying packs. And even if you get all the bonuses now, like there's people in our squad who are like, oh, I bought like all 13 bonuses or whatever. I won every single game by 14 points, and they didn't even get top 450. It's like super competitive now. So it's like, maybe they should
it's
be
gotten so
expanding it.
hard. I don't even try for the fucking top anymore.
But you shouldn't have to like dump in that much money just to even have a chance to get any rewards. So like
that's true.
My whole thing was like, yeah, you should probably increase the rewards. And then people are like, well, if you increase the rewards, then the rewards you get are less when you sell them. I'm like, the price that you sell them for shouldn't be the motivation for the grind of the game. Like you're thinking from a user that's trying to ROI and not from a gameplay standpoint where it's like there's all these people grinding every week and also putting money into the game that aren't getting rewarded anything for it. So it's like, you think those people are going to keep playing, and then guess what happens to your market prices when the user starts leaving because playing isn't fun anymore. Like supply and demand goes both way. If there's no demand, your fucking limited supply is not going to fucking matter because the demand's going to go down. So like if you want to keep that demand up to where it is, you're going to have to balance it a little bit. And I don't think they should mint unlimited, but like I don't know. People are so short-sighted, and like the people that are like, no, you shouldn't do that, are the people who have full fucking mythical teams that are unlocking every reward and profiting from it immensely. And they're like, I don't want to stop doing that. It's like, I don't think the game should be designed around whales profits. It should be designed around players enjoying the player experience because it's a video game, not an investment platform. But
yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say. It's just like, oh, then you won't be able to make money anymore. It's just like, it's a fucking video game, dude. It's not a job. It's not a investment.
This is more gambling for money, in my opinion, than it is a game. Like this is very much speculative.
This is definitely you're gambling. So which I don't mind gambling. Gambling's fun as long as we know we're gambling. You know, like as long as we know we're gambling, we can clearly do the math on the odds, and that's part of why I'm like kind of going slow with this game is that it is gambling, and it's It's gambling, and the picture isn't clear enough yet for me to have the full like scope of what are my odds of winning here and how best to approach it. And that I feel like that's the game. Figure that out. That's the game. You know?
I do wish they gave us more data though. Like not
Yeah.
telling you what the grade of the songs submitted are. It's fucking crazy because then like I have to burn money and not know. Like you could literally just be losing money without knowing it, and you don't know until like I don't know. That's a little too blind for me. I'd like to actually be able to see.
Yeah.
It's a fucking leaderboard, and the leaderboard doesn't tell you the score. Like, what is that? Like, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean,
It should show
even
you.
last week it was like you get 10 C notes, and it's like, what the fuck are C notes worth? At least now I know they're 28 wax. You know, if I get them.
Yeah,
So,
there's at least math on the token value, but
at least.
like, I would like the math on the game, like, so I can figure out if it's worth submitting my songs or not. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Is what it is. There's also the thing to
fine.
consider is it's going to start getting, if people are going to start getting more cred from the C notes, they're going to start being able to get in the higher studios, and then it's going to be harder to get in with one comment and be able. So I think there is a point where you wait too long, and then like your B- song is worthless because people are pumping out higher grade songs. But at that point, I also have to assume the tokens go down because if people are earning way more of that token, they're going to dump it on Alcor, and then like I don't know. I think it'll kind of balance itself out, but I don't know. At some point, I'm going to take the shot. I think next week.
Same.
As Max is saying for R&B, because R&B is rare, and I also think people just like I think people last week overburned a bunch of pop songs for the pop competition and they didn't enter them. So like I don't know if a B+ will win this week. That you can't get above a B- in the cheapest studio. Those people are now like, okay, I'm going to submit this shit because I'll win week 2. But I think we're kind of like that's going to kind of get filtered out after this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. I also totally get that Wapaka like. This wasn't sold as a gambling slot machine. It was sold as like going to be kind of like a clicker game. So I do think that's kind of is a bit of a bait and switch, but it is what it is. And as we were saying last week, you can still sell your stuff for a decent value. Like if commons are $1 each, that means the worst you could have done a pack is pull $25 worth of commons because it's 25 for 75. And honestly, getting the worst RNG and still getting a third of your money back for the backdrop is not horrible for the NFT space. And if you pulled anything higher rarity, you're making more of your money back. So, like, I wouldn't expect to make money on buying packs all the time anyway. Even though for a while in Wax that seemed to be like people were like, oh, blockchain brawlers just printed money. Every pack was worth like 3x. Yeah. That didn't happen. But as far as like holding value for 2 years, like there's stuff that sold 2 years ago that is worth like 1/1000th because the game rug pulled or like completely abandoned Wax. Like there's so much worse you could have done. But I don't know. Like let's look. I haven't checked the aftermarket prices since the tokens went live.
Honestly, I'm curious how much was what it would have been like if you just held the Wax, because at the time how much Wax was $75.
Let's see. The pack is. Let's look at the pop artist pack. $52 is the cheapest one, and what are they selling?
And then go to the history of it. Like, what did it used to sell for, like in Wax, when this first dropped? For that template, I guess.
Give me the template.
Let's see. So it used to sell for.
You started selling at 80, which was 700. Now it's selling for 900. So actually, you're getting more Wax now.
So there you go. You're actually doing better with this than if you had just held the Wax. So I'm not too butthurt about it, but
yeah, you would get more Wax. At any point, if you bought this, the median was less than the Wax you can get now.
Yeah, you can get quite a bit of Wax for it now. So I'm not too upset with the way it's going. Although I do agree, it's a bit of a bait and switch. It's a bit of a it's a gamble. It's a gambling slot machine, kind of dressed up as a clicker.
At least you can get out for the same amount of Wax you got in for. So actually, more.
Honestly, that's a fucking win in the in NFTs. If you're a year later, you can still get what you put into it in terms of the crypto you spent on it. Not bad.
Yeah, if you got an epic, that's 15. If you got a rare, that's 5. It's like $1.50. So if you pulled rare stuff, like you'd be closer to getting that 75 back.
Yeah.
And the price actually went down a little bit. 71 cents now for these guys, so it's a little more reasonable. It's still not. I don't know. 71 cents per spin for a common. That's not horrible. That's better than fucking $10, which is what it was last week. So I'm willing to pay less than $1 for a gamble.
Right.
I paid 10 cents on a Counter-Strike competition last night and won 20 cents. Let's go. Get rich. 10 cents
Do
at a
that
time.
do that like 3 more times, and you can get yourself a spin on Music Mogul.
And then lose it all. All right, do you want to do your DeFi stuff? I feel like that's all I wanted to say on what else is in the title of this. Harry Potter we went over, crypto market chat.
Harry
Yeah, I think we
Potter.
went
Yeah.
over Wuffy, we went over or Woofy, I don't know how you say it. We went over Woofy, we went over Drop
Woofy.
Market and Harry Potter Drop, and we went over Music Mogul updates. So if you missed any of that and are interested, you can watch the video on demand after this or on YouTube. You can rewind on YouTube, you can't on Twitch, but now we're going to go into DeFi.
Yeah, let's do a quick.
I'm
kind of
gonna
fucked my voice up last.
do a quick bathroom break, and then all this tea is running right through me.
Keep it a little lighter than normal, just because my voice is still recovering from partying too hard. Now, from
What were you?
I don't know, yelling.
What were you yelling about?
I was just at a bar. It was loud. I was there for like 2.5 hours or something, and I was just like talking with somebody, and then like I don't know that, and I think plus like the booster shot I got for COVID gave me like a weird like sore throat ish thing that wasn't quite sick, but like was exacerbated by my scream talking. But yeah, let's take a look. Right, let's take a look at the crypto market right now. I'll show you what I'm seeing and what I want to be doing, and then we'll decide on what to. Oh, actually, really quick, let me tell Paul to call back in a second. Hey, baby, can I call you back? I'm in the middle of something. Okay, see it. I don't know, like a while. What time is it? What time is the show? I guess if you're staying out, it's fine. Okay, yeah, if you stay out, that's fine. I love you, baby. Bye. See you. Bye. Okay. All right. Sorry, that was Paul. Let's go into a show here in a bit. Okay, so I'm looking at the ETH market right now, and here's Bitcoin. And let's take a look. This is the daily chart, right? So the last few weeks or so, we on our lead up to our what was it? The ETF, the spot ETF. Everybody was all excited for that. So we saw Bitcoin was running pretty hard, pretty aggressively, and then we got our ETF approval, and now we're kind of pulling back a little bit, it looks like. So you can see last week we were kind of expecting it to continue to pull back a little, and let's look at, I guess we'll look at WAX after this. Let's look at the weekly chart too. You can see like on the daily chart, it is starting to look a little bit more bearish, although we are on the oversold end of the RSI. But we are definitely, you know, we have room to kind of retest and then continue to push down. Retest by cooling off the SR and likely not exceed like 44,000. Yeah, let's say around 44,000 is where for Bitcoin is probably where it would get rejected on a retrace, like on a kind of a short-term pump, and then potentially we'll, you know, try to push down lower again. If we can push above 44,000, then great. We're invalidating the kind of like inverted or inversion of this trend, and we continue higher. You can see on the weekly chart that trend has been bull since like the beginning of the year. So the bull market kind of has started here, and you can see there's quite a bit of room down before it invalidates it, you know, being a bull market still. Looking at WAX though, let's get a little closer to WAX. Probably look at the daily chart. Here's WAX on the daily chart, and we have a few lines that we've drawn. And so this yellow line is where we were last week, and we were kind of holding this support. And like last week I was saying, we're unsure if it was gonna, you know, move up or move down. And so what we had done is these two red lines kind of represent the range of liquidity that we had been supplying. And so I was still pretty comfortable staying within this range. And currently it looks like, you know, we are still in that range, and we did kind of push down a bit, you know, not all the way to the bottom of our range yet, but again, I still imagine we will find support down here. This is around 5 cents flat. We're about at 5.5, 5.6 right now. So it's possible that for this coming week, or what I'm seeing for this coming week, especially with Bitcoin and Ethereum both kind of looking a little bit more bearish, looks like Bitcoin is just now starting to print its bear signal there. Or I'm sorry, that was ETH. And then Bitcoin kind of doing a little bit of a retest, but again, probably not going to make it much higher than these higher candles. And even if it does, probably not going to make it above 44K. Either way, in the coming week, it's likely to maybe retest and kind of range in this zone versus doing some massive moves. And if it does start to do moves, then I would expect those moves to be sells, not buys necessarily, not pumps. Long term, obviously, I'm very bullish on crypto. If that's unclear, it's just looking at the market right now, trying to make an assessment for what to do for the next 7 days. Long term, I think all this stuff is going to come back, and there's a great opportunity to buy Bitcoin actually right around here, because either if we're looking at the long enough time frames, either it does, kind of retrace up and then get rejected and pushed down further, or it retraces and bounces higher. So this is either way. This is a like a point in which we could buy some spot, which I did that yesterday. And I think in our Discord there's now a crypto channel, and Sid also posted that we here. Actually, I'll share the chart that he posted. It's in the Neon Space Discord too, but let me pull it up here now. It's basically this. For some reason my default browser is not the one I'm sharing. Let me copy this over. Okay. Paste. Boom. Here we go. This is the Bitcoin chart. I kind of crudely drawn these arrows. So this is, we shared this a while ago, actually expecting it to fall to around this level and then find that bounce. You can see here, kind of fall down to here, like 39-ish, 40,000, a little lower maybe, and then find a bounce and continue up, or it fails to find the bounce and pushes to previous supports around 34, 35,000. And so since right now, when we look at this chart here, we actually have pulled back to that first, you can even see with the wick, we did actually wick down to that 38 kind of K zone. And so now we are at that first, either we bounce and continue higher, or we fail and keep going lower. Either way, the post was saying that this was the first of these two kind of target spots on the chart, 1 and 2, and those are two places where I was buying some Bitcoin, because obviously the longer term, I'm bullish on this stuff. So Bitcoin maybe going to be bouncing in the coming week, maybe going to look for its next leg down to next support range. And so with that in mind, I would say for WAX, what I want to see is WAX going to be holding our holding within our range. Is it going to hold above 5 cents? And if it doesn't, where can we expect WAX to find support if it falls below 5 cents? And to find that, I want to basically look on the previous charts here and see where was the price supported before, before this last, pump up. And that would be kind of right. So you see the red line here, that's kind of tracking along this area, along a lot of these touches from these candles. You see where we were pushing up and it was resistance for a while. Even here where we first fell off, that's kind of where we found support. And so if we want to look for the next level, it's just going to be kind of here, I would say. You see here where it's like the very bottom where these wicks all couldn't push any lower, and how that's almost in line with kind of like these guys here. And so if we wanted to add another, I could come up here. If we wanted to add another horizontal line for this, we could drop that here on the daily chart. And then if we want, we can actually come a little closer, like in the 4-hour chart. And by being a little closer, I'm going to say reset chart view, and then actually just drag to the left so that we can stay. Here we go. And then here, I want to kind of line this up so that the most candles within this touching range are touching my line. So I'm going to bring it up just a little bit so that these guys are touching. That way these peaks are, this is like the resistance here. And then you can see, support, bounce, support, failing, resistance, breaking out, support. And so that was a decent amount of support there. You can see similarly, it's a little averaged on that guy here. but it's hitting a lot of our candles, which is kind of what we want. Oh, this is actually a previous level. We want to go to the lower.
I missed what you were
one
saying
here.
earlier, but wasn't
Here we
Sid
go.
posting yesterday that we might be seeing another potential retest or something?
Yeah, exactly. I shared this picture here. This is what Sid shared this in our Discord as well. But this is basically saying like Bitcoin is arrived basically at the first level here, where we're either looking for it to bounce to move up, or to fail and push to the lower level and then bounce there and move up. So we had been tracking. This is the daily chart or the weekly chart for Bitcoin, and we've been tracking this kind of like rising channel, and it's been trading within that since the start of this bull market, and it broke out of the channel here, and so this is like the run up to the ETF announcement news. You know, this is kind of the hype cycle that boosted us finally out of the blue channel here, and then now, as far as a bull market would go, retesting the top of the channel and bouncing is the most bullish scenario here. However, falling back into the channel and remaining above the bottom line of the channel, so basically still continuing in this upward trend channel, is still part of a bull market trend. So we have either, you know, buying spot here to move with the more bullish picture, or like I was saying, I bought spot here anyway, and I will buy again here. So I'm keeping capital to buy more if we fall further, but also buying some now to not be left behind should this first bounce be what we see moving forward.
Pop and Stock also asks, "Is this a financial advice?" I'm pretty sure he's joking, but I put the banner up. This is not financial advice.
This is more like for fun. Let's learn how to
Mocha,
like eyeball some charts.
Mocha says, "Don't take financial advice from a guy that makes neon light NFTs." That's
Exactly.
good advice. Take that advice.
That's good advice. Thank you. Yeah,
and
get your
Pocket said, "Sell your house and buy Bitcoin." And
it's time.
RCK MTL says, "Could buy some really nice tents with those Bitcoin profits. Just go to permaglyphing and laugh at the peeps paying for things like real estate taxes." Chucky said, "I saw a lawyer get interviewed. We can suggest whatever investments we want without having to say not financial advice, as long as we're not charging or getting paid for what we say." So
yeah,
I like that a lawyer said that, because we're not getting paid.
I'll still be clear about, I'm not, I'm not a fiduciary. I don't give financial advice, and at the end of the day, everybody's financial situation is different, so your risk tolerance is different, and you need to go over your personal finances, personally, to understand what you can and can't invest in. Like something that I think might be investable might not be investable to someone else whose financial situation is different. Just like something I think is not investable could be totally legitimately investable to someone else based on their financial standing.
Different scenarios that can play out. Like none of these are guaranteed, as Max was just saying. It's like if it goes to one point, it might be bullish, but it could also, Sid was saying, like 32K was his next buy. So like it could bounce up or it could go down. Like you don't really know which way it's going. This is
bounce
not
up, down, or sideways. So
this
then
is not
I guess
guaranteed.
I guess I could show you what I do to play this market with my DeFi wallet if you want to see like an example of covering my bases here as far as risk management. And so what I've done, go ahead.
I was saying, if you're interested in these charts and like what those charts that Max just pulled up, Sid has been posting in our crypto channel on our Discord. I made a specific crypto channel because I've been ranting about Counter-Strike and the NFL and stuff in our general channel. So if you are interested in these kind of crypto musings and seeing what people think could happen with the charts, we do have a channel dedicated for that in the Neon Space Discord. So consider joining that if you're interested in this stuff. But again, it's not, they can't tell the future. They can just see what are potential futures based on how they read the charts. But everybody reads charts differently, and it could be inaccurate. So don't take this as facts. But if you are interested in this sort of thing, Max and Sid have been doing it for years, and I think they're very good at it, and it's worth considering their opinion. But as always, do your own research and don't buy stuff because strangers on the internet tell you to.
Exactly. That's the best thing to do. Best policy. The whole do your own research thing is a trope for a reason. So here we go. I'll show you an idea here of something I'm doing with my crypto at the moment, right? So I have some Ethereum here. I am expecting the price of Ethereum to potentially fall, but I'm not 100% sure what it's going to do, right? Obviously, I'd love to be 100% sure, but I'm not. So what I've done is I have a total of 6 Ethereum for this position, right? And so here is a farm where
Sid
on Uniswap,
watching this right now. Sid just sent me a message. He said Bitcoin should retest a 41.2K to 44K area. We're getting live updates from Sid in my Discord. So shout out to Sid.
Yeah, there we go.
He's the
Sid's
chart master. I think he's got
chart
that
master
role still
Sid,
in our
yeah.
Discord. And he says, "Yep, I'm watching." So shout out to Sid. Shout out to his family.
Yeah, so then here we have, if you are watching Sid, you seeing we're getting a daily print, bear print on ETH. Dump it, baby. Come on. Anyway, let's see what we got here. So what I'm looking for, obviously the weekly chart, trying to cool off a little bit moving forward. Looking at the daily chart for ETH, we are a little bit low, so we might be getting a little bit of a bounce, but it's unclear. So what I'm trying to do with my ETH is I have basically set a range, like liquidity, like we normally do. So if I go to Uniswap, I have half of my liquidity here. And the range is set right now between 2,150 and 2,350. So looking at the chart, that is about 2,000. What is that? 150 is almost like the bottom where these wicks kind of are, to 350 being like right here above. If I'm going back here, above this daily close. So right now my range is kind of like, if we go a little, like this, 22, that's basically 50 to 21, 50. This is my range, this little black cube here. And so all of my liquidity is going to be trading back and forth while the price moves within this range for supplying that liquidity. So you can see there it's supplied here. And again, I said 6 Ethereum total, but you can see in here there's only about 2 Ethereum and 3,000. So this is about 3 Ethereum in this LP. This 3 Ethereum is currently earning rewards from Merkle, as well as it's earning, transaction fees from people trading. The other 3 Ethereum I've split out of the pool because, again, I'm not 100% sure what the pool is going to be doing. And what I did is I put half of it, 1.5 ETH, into my wallet as ETH. It's just sitting there as ETH right now. And the other 1.5 I took to GMX, which is a perpetual exchange. And then here's that position. You can see I took the collateral here, 1.5, so 1.498 ETH. I collateralized that and I used 2x leverage. Like I said, I have 6 total. 3 are in the wallet and 3 are in the LP. The 3 that are in the wallet are split 50-50. 50% stays as ETH, and the other 50 is actually short sold as ETH against ETH. And so you can see, I opened this short. It has a liquidation price at $4,000, so I have a lot of room for ETH to kind of like fluctuate and stuff. But I now have the ability to earn more Ethereum on the way down. So again, I put in 1.5. If I were to just close this right now, I would get back 1.516. So I'm already up, in terms of Ethereum, I'm up 0.0106. But the reason I have this short and the other amount just sitting in the wallet, so here's the second half of it, is just chilling here, is because I'm unsure of how this is going to move, and I would like to keep short exposure here so that if we do get the sell-off I'm like seeing in the chart, I can offset my loss substantially by using leverage and this kind of a perpetual contract. And if we don't get that sell-off and we start moving upward, well, my collateral is in Ethereum. It is still in Ethereum, and therefore the collateral value rises as the value of my position loses value and helps mitigate my loss. So there is way like that would be, so those Uniswap plus the Merkle farm plus the perpetual protocol plus just liquid ETH in the wallet, so those 4 positions represent one strategy for Ethereum in one of my wallets. And so that is kind of like a way that I would approach to playing these kind of like markets. And a lot of that comes from experience. Like Lewis said, I've been doing this for years and years, so I'm not like oh, I'm just gonna buy now, sell low, buy high, and because like that's it's a very speculative game, and like you can do really well. And it's really really stressful and hard to kind of be day trading all the time. And one bad day can wipe out weeks of profit. I hate that. So what I do is I take an approach that is a lot more market maker. Like for example, if we look at my liquidity here, if let's say Ethereum does fall below 2,150, what happens to me as the supplier here is that my pool, you see how right now it's split 41%, 59%. If we fall to the bottom of the range, I will be 100% in Ethereum. So that's the worst case scenario for me on the low end, while the worst case on the high end is if we move beyond my range, I'll be 100% in dollars. So and then I'm using Forax. Forax is it's a dollar stable coin, very stable, very well established. I'm a big fan of Forex finance. They actually recently brought bond yield onto the blockchain. Really fucking cool, but I won't get into it. It's really fucking complicated, but really, really fun. Either way, the reason I like positions like this is that, again, worst case scenario, I end up holding cash or I end up holding ETH, but I don't end up being liquidated or losing the money that I put up as collateral like I would on the GMX position. Like on this short sell, I have collateral, this collateral, this 1.5 ETH, the $3,000, that if I bet basically the wrong way, and if the ETH price climbs above 4,400, this goes away and I lose this. So there is a total loss potential for a position like this that just does not exist for liquidity positions like this. And then the liquidity position here, obviously the risk is the impermanent loss or the decay loss, meaning like, the value of this total pool is, let's say, $3,000, or I guess it's more like six and a half or something. Let's say it's 6.5. If the price of Ethereum falls, to 2,150, I would end up having 3.2 or whatever Ethereum, and that might now only be worth $6,300. So I would be, at a loss of $200, but all the way in Ethereum. And so I could then, either hold the Ethereum and wait for the price to recover, or what I normally do is sell a portion of it and readjust my range. And then that $200 that I had lost in that scenario generally can be offset by these rewards. So these rewards I can claim each day. Generally, when I was with this position, I was able to pull about $80 to $100 a day from this farm. And then what I do with that is I turn that back into Ethereum as well. And so that Ethereum is, I guess that's the fifth part of this position. That is over here at Overnight Finance. If we go to Overnight, I guess I should just type.
I feel like I'm pretty into crypto, and this stuff is all still way over my head as far as at this point. I'm pretty happy with just buying, holding, and selling is my game.
Yeah, so here's Overnight Finance. This is the last portion of my position. If we go into the DApp here, Overnight Finance is just a I don't need to sign in, but we can take a look at the ETH Plus is the asset that they have here. So switch to the Arbitrum blockchain, and you can see ETH Plus is an Ethereum token that earns 9.4% in Ethereum automatically, and the rewards are paid out every 24 hours. Like that's why it's called Overnight Finance. So you can see the last payout happened, like 30 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago, and that payout was equivalent to about 8.3% APY. And so if you held in your wallet this token called ETH Plus, then you got, if you had one ETH Plus in your wallet, and 25 minutes ago when the distribution happened, now you have 1.0000152 in your wallet. So you basically get this amount of ETH every 24 hours, or this was yesterday, this was the day before, averaging to about 9.4%. And so when I take profit into this token rather than just normal ETH. And what this token is making the yield from is very simple liquidity mining. So this one, if I go to the collateral, I can take a look. What is ETH Plus collateralized as? It's 100% ETH. Where is that ETH being put? Here, most of it is in Silo. So they're basically supplying Ethereum to a lending protocol, and then they're taking the yield from that and buying more Ethereum with it. that's pretty easy. I mean, I could do that myself with ETH, but the overnight finance team manages this stuff on a for you kind of. And if there is a better opportunity for earning yield, they will migrate the backing and manage that kind of thing. And I don't really need to do anything. And on top of this, there is an insurance protocol that if the yield or something happens here causes a loss, there is actually a recoverable, like a percentage of that loss that would be recovered by the insurance protocol. I really like this. I really like what this team has built. You can do the same thing with dollar coins. So they have like a USD plus, and this is just stable coin. So same deal where you just hold the dollar, like each 1 unit of this in your wallet. So if you had $1 coin, then after last night, you would now have 1.0000451. And so this amount just grows in your wallet at a rate of 7.8%. And again, if you're like, well, where is it making 7.8%? You can very transparently look up where the collateral is. And you can see this collateral is 100% USDC.E on the Arbitrum blockchain. This protocol exists on multiple blockchains. So if I go to like Base or Optimism, you can see that the collateral is going to be split up differently. And these tokens are isolated to their individual blockchains, meaning that if there is an exploit that happens on Optimism blockchain, that is isolated to the liquidity and the backing assets on Optimism and won't affect Arbitrum. Either way, the backing for something like this is, you can see Silo again, so money market, they're depositing this, then they're using it to borrow ETH, and they're actually, or it looks like they're using it to borrow Bitcoin, and then it looks like they're supplying liquidity to a Bitcoin perpetual. And so this is like a delta neutral farming strategy where they've borrowed the Bitcoin and then they're just using the Bitcoin to earn money. So if Bitcoin goes up or down in price, it shouldn't really make a big difference because their collateral balance would be adjusted. Like basically they have all the Bitcoin they borrowed still, and they're just using what the Bitcoin is earning to generate a little bit more yield. Really cool. You don't have to do anything other than hold the token. I like that. It's easy to take profit into shit like that. So that's the 5 kind of parts of this position. And then if I go to like a swap, I could find that ETH plus in my wallet. Or I guess the swap would have to be over here. You can connect here. Yes. And then I can go to, let's see, like swap. And then if I want to, I can take everything I have ever earned as yield from this position, which I think was what's it called? Wrapped ETH plus, this guy. And I guess I should make sure I'm on the right wallet. Yeah, and then there it is. So this is all the rewards I've earned so far, claimed back into ETH, and then I could swap those over to like Ethereum if I wanted to, or into cash again. And it's actually a positive price impact. That's kind of nice. But yeah, so that's kind of like all those pieces make up this one position. And then once I've made an amount of, ETH with farming fees and stuff that equals the amount I started with to open the position, then I rotate that into a new position and do it again. And then basically create a long-term holdings that way. It's a long process. It doesn't make you rich overnight, but $80 a day adds up. It's quite a bit of money. So being able to not just participate in a single strategy like farming only on Uniswap or whatever, but splitting that, normally maybe all the ETH is in this, but now that it looks like we're dropping, I've split it out. I've opened a short position and I'm collateralizing that with ETH. So you can do a lot of this stuff from your wallet on the blockchain. It's really straightforward once you know how to do it. But yeah, all of that said,
I'm going to take a quick intermission. So we had a question earlier about it was Montasuerte said, one token I've been so curious about is Oasis, because honestly I have no clue what drives anything over there. Oasis is a token that I've been kind of into for a while. We were playing that like a Tamagotchi style game, but they're officially partnered with Sega, and they've done drops from Virtua Fighter, like a PFP project from Virtua Fighter. That's how you actually got the eggs for the Tamagotchi game we were playing. If you minted a Virtua Fighter style avatar, then you would have been airdropped an egg for free. But
Yeah, where's that?
Let's see.
Let's see.
Project. And here's the Series 1 and the Series 1 Virtua Fighter. Series 2 is the Oasis eggs, but a bigger deal, I think, is this. Bigger deal is this Champions Tactics game, which is made by Ubisoft. I don't know if I can say that, but it's a competitive multiplayer turn-based RPG. So I don't know if this is gonna be like Final Fantasy Tactics, but this is an actual game, not like a clicker, being created by a major studio, and this is going to be on Oasis. See if I can find the video for it.
Yeah, this looks cool.
In this world where darkness reigns and magic fades, where empires clash and kingdoms crumble, there is a game woven with ancient magic and timeless legends, shaping the destinies of those who dare to play. But heed my words, my lord. Prepare to be consumed by this strategy crucible, where champions rise and fall.
That's just a teaser. I don't know if they have any actual gameplay stuff yet. Let's go to their YouTube channel. But this is one of the projects, I think, which could be a hit on the Oasis network.
Yeah, I'm stoked for that. That's pretty wild.
Well, let's see. Can I find projects launching on Oasis? There's got to be a list somewhere. Here we go. Here's a list.
What's the name of that marketplace where we have our guy? Where is my guy? What's the name of that NFT?
All right, I think I'm back. Tofu. Tofu.
Okay.
Also, my internet just totally shit out. I don't know what the stream looked like for a second. Hopefully, I'm back.
Yeah, you sound like you're back. Let's see. Oasis.
Ecosystem. Yeah, this only shows like 3 projects, but obviously this isn't. There's like a bunch of games on the. Let me see if I can find the website. They have like a bunch of. They're partnered with Sega.
I have my dragon. I still need.
Bandai, Namco, Square Enix, and Ubisoft. So they have a pretty big partners, but there's also a bunch of functional games already built on Oasis. I know I posted it. Is it this? Yeah, here we go. It shows you all the games built on each verse. Oasis.gamefy.org. But they have different verses, and verses are subchains. So if you go to this home verse, these are all the projects on Homeverse. Battle of Three Kingdoms, Dime Time, Defend the Kingdoms. This one's pretty big. I think the Brave Frontier Heroes. I was playing this one for a while. It's not really my style of game, but this has it's built by a developer that has a game with 50 million plus users, or downloads at least. So they have some pretty big developers with already popular IPs building, and then they have different verses. So those are all subchains, and you have to bridge your NFTs from. Here we go. There's the MCH verse, TCG verse, the Home verse, the Chain verse, and the Sakura verse. So there's different games being built on all of them. I don't know which one Champion Tactics is going to be on, but this is the first of the major IP, not major IP, but large studio building. And Sega's also developing Double Jump on there. I think not Double Jump. Double Jump's the name of the It's like a Japanese strategy card game that's like mixed with cards in virtual. Let's see if I can find it. Double Jump Sega card game Oasis. But this one is a pretty big IP. These are all from like a year ago. I don't know where they're at with the development. Oh, here we go. This was posted October of last year, so that's pretty new. It says Sega and Double Jump Tokyo to revive Sengokushi Taisen through the Battle of Three Kingdoms. Oh, it's playable, is it? Battle of Three Kingdoms. I don't see. Oh wait, there's a teaser for it. I haven't seen this yet. Can you still hear me, Max? I can't tell if my internet's fucking up.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. This came out 6 months ago. 98 subscribers. This is not reaching a lot of people.
Oh, I'm gonna swear to what's that website? I'm looking for that website right now. I'm trying to like level my dragon up. Tofu.
Oh, that's just Tofu's the marketplace. The website is this one, x.oasis.games, I believe. And then if you go to your inventory, then it should have your thing, and then you should be able to nurture it. Strategy battle in 3 minutes. Deck building plus auto battle. Recreated in Web3. Same goes. I don't know. This might be similar to something like Splinterlands, but it's not made by just a bunch of random Web3 people. It's made by Sega. So as far as like quality of game and stuff goes, I would guess this one's going to be better. I will say this game is not popular or even really possible to find in America. This is a very Japanese game. So I think most of the stuff being built on this blockchain right now is very popular in Asia, not very well known in North America. So that's probably why we're not really familiar with this stuff. But from the research I've done, it seems to be a very popular, like 20-year long IP. So is it just the same thing in Japanese, I think? If you check out Sengokushi Taisen, it's a strategy card game, the original version, where you put down cards on a thing. So like here, there's like these boards, and it's like a mat. And when you place the card face down on the mat, it scans it, and then you play it on the screen. And it's like you're fighting like armies. Like when you play a card, that places an army and it fights the other person's army. But it looks pretty sick. I don't know how similar to this the Web3 version is going to be, but yeah, you can like go play this in arcades in Japan. And I think it's been around, like this video is from 13 years ago. So this is like an old IP that has a following. But still not super clear to me what the Web3 version is going to be like.
It looks cool.
17 hours ago. What's this from? It's all in Japanese. Yeah, I really like it. It reminds me of like almost like Dynasty Warriors. That was a hack and slash, but it looks like a RTS mixed with card game, mixed with Dynasty Warriors, where you're like sending armies at each other. But I don't know if there's going to be this sort of visual in the Web3 version. The Web3 version seems like it's supposed to be a shorter auto battler. But yeah, so this is one of the games, and then like a Final Fantasy Tactics style game made by Ubisoft. And then there's already a bunch of mobile games that if you look on, let me just find this website. If you go to this website kind of sucks. I'll just send you the main website, but if you can click on each verse, you can find all the games on there. Like here, there's Remonster, Chain Colosseum Phoenix, Prompt Monsters, My Crypto Heroes, Loot by Rogue. But there's like 10 or 15 playable mobile games on this chain already. So there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, there's quite a bit going on. Their partners are impressive.
And again, it doesn't seem to be very popular in Western culture. Like this is mainly Asian stuff. And some of the games have like I went and played one of their mobile games. It had, I think, like 30 million plus downloads. So like there's a lot of people playing. And yeah, I don't know. Worth checking out. But Oasis is one of the chains that I'm kind of like bullish on for games in the future because they have real game developers. It's not just a bunch of people who have never made games before trying to use the blockchain to leverage like funding for a project, which I don't know, could also work out. But I feel like, having someone like Sega or Ubisoft making games on chain is a pretty big deal. And they're both partnered.
Right.
Bandai Namco is also partnered with the chain. Like the partners they have are insane as far as like major gaming companies go, which doesn't guarantee the games will be good but I don't know. Still worth checking out if you're actually into the games themselves and not just the crypto side of it. Which I also don't know, like, if any of this stuff is gonna be a good investment or not. But I am interested
I'm
in the
more
chain.
buying it to play some games.
And there's also like a lot of stuff already built on it. Like it has more functional games than WAX by a pretty good number already, I would say. There's a few people in our Discord that you could ask. I think Toon might have one of these guys. Like you can mint a legend. I don't know how that works. Minting ended on December 18th. Let's see how much they cost on OpenSea. How much is 0.1 ETH? That's kind of a lot, right?
0.1 ETH? Yeah, like $250.
Yeah, it's like $300. I don't know. I'm not going to buy one of these for $300. Personally, I'll wait until the game's out and then see what I need to play. I feel like that's a better strategy. There's always a lot of hype before games drop, and until the game is actually out and you see if the game is worth playing, like it seems risky to just kind of buy into one, like hoping that you like the game. I've learned my lesson on that one. So personally, I did like Final Fantasy Tactics. I had it on Nintendo DS and I played it a lot. Like it was one of my top played games. So this is like Final Fantasy Tactics where you can own some of the stuff as NFTs. I'm interested in checking it out, but not for $300 before the game's out. Sammy Snake says he loves Dynasty Wars. I love Dynasty Warriors too. That's like one of the most fun hack and slash games. I feel like I used to just like... Oops. I feel like I used to just play it for hours and hours. You're just running in circles, just like whoosh, 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 like riding horses and fucking swiping down soldiers. That shit was super fun. Yeah, the verses are kind of smart, Mono Suerte, because each one is a sub chain. So that means if you have too many games on one chain, like Alien Worlds and Farmers World, that's clogging the whole chain, you can start putting stuff on other chains, so it's not going to ruin all of Oasis because you bridge the stuff from the subchains back to Oasis. So like the main Oasis chain is not getting screwed by all of the transactions happening on chain for the subchains, which is pretty smart as far as scalability
goes. The subchains are fucking free, dude. As far as like, there's no transaction cost at all on like Homeverse when I use that.
Yeah, that's definitely like, in my opinion, much more scalable than something like WAX, because as we saw, like when our planet got crazy, it would like break the whole chain. You'd get JSON errors, and then like CPU starts costing a shit ton. And a way around that is like, oh, each subchain is going to have like a series of games, and then if that gets too clogged, we'll make another one, and that seems like very scalable. And then if you want to do the NFT trading, you bridge it back and just use the marketplaces on
Yeah.
Actually, I think there might be marketplaces on the subchains too. I'm not sure. I haven't really tried to sell anything, but
have you seen my dragons?
Got cool stuff going on.
Check out my dragons, yo. I just got my 4th evolution.
Thank you for the raid, American Crypto Arcade. I don't know. Are we even following you? I'll throw you a follow. I don't know who American Crypto Arcade is, but we appreciate it.
I'm checking out my dragons, guys. These are all like soul bound, so they're non-transferable once you hatch them. This is the generation 1. egg that I got. So I got 2 eggs. I just kept one because I wanted to.
We should
have
explain to the
one just
Raiders what's going
unhatched.
on real quick. We are looking at
Okay.
the Oasis blockchain. We had a viewer ask us why is like Oasis valuable? What's driving traffic? And we showed off they have a game being developed by Sega and Double Jump. They have a game being developed by Ubisoft. They're also partnered with Bandai Namco. And they have major AAA developers developing blockchain games there. So we think that's driving a lot of traffic. And this is one of the projects that Max and I got into. It's like a digital Tamagotchi, like a NFT Tamagotchi. And you get them and then you can lay eggs. And then if you like nurture them, they'll lay another egg and then they keep upgrading and they keep changing. But you got these from buying like Virtua Fighter profile picture. They dropped like Sega endorsed profile pictures, and then if you held one of those, they'd airdrop you an egg, and then once you get an egg, you can daisy chain those eggs into new eggs and new Tamagotchis. But Max is showing off his Tamagotchi.
Yeah, I just hatched this guy with the fiery background. That's pretty dope. Let me see. Nurturing. I should be nurturing him now. Let me refresh because sometimes the Explorer takes a second to like push a transaction. Currently nurturing. Let's go. Okay. So now I have to wait 20 days. And then when I do, he'll birth an egg, and then I can hatch the egg and have a generation 5. And I don't know. Like as far as I think there's also like an interactive side I can like play with them and feed them and stuff. But it's not like it's more just like for shits and giggles, I think. I'm just kind of stoked because it takes like 20 days to go up a generation. So this represents like, you know, a couple months of me evolving my guy. And I like the idea that like years from now I'll have like a generation like, you know, 22 or something. And it's not something that other people could very easily get without spending years evolving a guy. So that's kind of a fun concept to me. Other than the game isn't really something I'm playing. I just like getting these guys in my wallet. I'm not sure if this guy's worth anything, actually. I could open my second one. Oh, and then see how it says like NFT bridge? These are the different sub chains within Oasis.
They also, each one is a different color. There's also some like,
mine are all purple.
There's been some incentives though, like people are like, oh, if you have one on this verse, like we'll give you this asset in our game. So people are trying to like incentivize you to bridge them to their chains. And like, I haven't really been keeping up with that, but it is kind of a fun.
These guys have similar incentives too, where it's like in the future, it's not unreasonable for them to be like, oh, a new game is launching, and like everybody who has like a generation 7 or higher Ryu is getting like this skin within the game, and that way they can like give things out to people in their blockchain who are active, you know, using and long-term holders of stuff like. Because, you know, this doesn't automatically evolve. I have to actively do something every 20 days or whatever in order to continue getting a higher generation. And then these are non-transferable assets. So the wallet that makes them is absolutely the wallet that's active. So they use this kind of a thing to like airdrop stuff or to know who's like, you know, like a loyalty kind of reward. So I'm kind of viewing it like that, where I'm building up like a loyalty thing for my dragon guy, which is fun, and I don't expect to make any money with it. Again, they're non-transferable, so how could you sell them?
I think the eggs
the eggs are. So yeah, when this guy lays an egg, he'll lay a generation 5 egg. I could transfer the generation 5 egg, but that's it. I can't, like, he can't lay a second egg. So if I want to keep evolving my guy, I can't just, you know, sell them.
I wonder if like the max egg will be like the most valuable one, probably.
Maybe instead of sitting on this Gen 1 egg, maybe I should just be like leveling it up too, so I have multiple dragons.
I feel like the higher generation eggs will, but who knows? Maybe there'll be a new verse in the future that you can't bridge to, and then like people will need the Generation 1 eggs. I guess you can bridge to newer generation eggs.
Yeah, that's true, because I can lay this egg next generation, and then because whenever they like spawn a new egg for me, that egg is on the Oasis verse, and then when I go to hatch it, it asks me first to bridge it, and it's like which.
So you could do the higher generation eggs. It doesn't have to be Gen 1. Chucky is asking us how our designer con trip went. I can pull up some pictures from that real quick.
Oh, super fun. Yeah, see, these are all on the home verse. That's why they're purple.
There's Max and I at designer con. It was fun. It was in like Anaheim. We live in Los Angeles. We drove up. We had a tiny little display at Priscilla's booth. Priscilla is the creator of Sune, Valor, and Vellum. Shout out. She was very nice to allow us to go there. But yeah, in addition to the NFT things, we also make physical stickers. We're trying to get into the physical game and go to conventions. So this is our first dipping our toes into the water. Eventually want to get our own booth. We're actually making a new sticker right now that'll probably be out in a couple weeks. But it was a lot of fun. Met a lot of people. We met Yamster for the first time. Shout out to the Yam Man.
Yeah, that's dope.
I learned a ton. Like, I don't know. I'm not
that too.
I haven't really been into the designer toy scene. So like I just don't know what's out there. Like I know what Priscilla's done because we're friends with Priscilla, and I like Sune, but seeing like all the different stuff that's out there, like we got some ideas. We've definitely been playing around with the idea of making our own toys at some point because I don't know, they're just cool. And
yeah,
Ether Denver soon, says the BG Badger.
Ooh, nice.
I know Boulder Magic goes to that, but I've never gone to like a just straight crypto convention. This was my first collector convention, and it was a lot of fun. There's a lot of really cool stuff out there. Like some people make really cool collectibles. But we can show the picture of I got this from the Sune booth. It's like a Tamagotchi style pin. And then we also got like matching NFTs to go with them.
Oh yeah, baby.
And I'm hoping we
shout
can
out to Yamster for hooking
too.
me up with his NFT because I didn't get there in time to claim it in IRL.
I guess let's show off our Shopify in case people don't know. We have stickers. We got a new sticker coming out. Hopefully by the end of the month we ordered them. We're just waiting for production, but we got a couple sold out, but we still have Wash Your Cheeks, Mark the Narc, Live Dudes, Fame Condensed, Chem Life, and Pizza. So if you're interested in stickers and our artwork, we're moving to the physical realm. They're $3 each, and then international shipping is free. We'll ship anywhere in the world for the flat $3 rate. And when we first launched them, they're shiny versions. So, like as you can see with the Neon Spice sticker, there's a shiny one and a not shiny one. You get guaranteed a not shiny one, and then some buyers will, if they're lucky and win a raffle, basically a raffle of sorts, we randomly pick buyers, and you can get a shiny in addition. So you could get two for the price of one, but that's not available for our older stickers, and it will be on the new ones that drop for the first week. So if you're interested in that, consider joining our Discord. So when we announce that's going to happen, you can be within the first week of buying. And honestly, it hasn't been much of a raffle lately. Like we've got enough so almost every buyer can get one. So the last like 2 or 3 stickers, like every single order has gotten a shiny sticker. So I can't guarantee that. It's limited supplies. If more people order than we have stickers, then we will raffle them to specific buyers. But the last 2 or 3, like we order 10 and they send us like 20 something. So we've been lucky there. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We're thinking about maybe trying to get some sort of 3D printing situation because we saw people were like 3D printing not whole toys, but they'd like 3D print arms, the 3D print legs, torsos, and heads. Then you like snap them together and you could build the toys. And then people would like hand paint them and also like hand sew clothes for them that you could like make it very personal. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't like the idea of just 100% 3D printing stuff as far as like that's not very handmade. And I feel like the whole like designer, like artist made is like it's cool when it's handmade and like unique. And if you just 3D print and mass produce stuff, that's not as cool. But we're thinking about 3D printing, and then Paul, our artist, is a good painter. So we're thinking about 3D printing them and basically having like one of one paint jobs where each one is painted different. And that way we could kind of combine the boutique designer stuff with Max's skill set, which Max is a 3D artist, and he can mess with 3D models and stuff. So with our powers combined, we might be able to make some toy models and then have Paul paint them and be able to release like basically one of one semi-handmade toys. And I think that would be sick, but that's still farther down the line for us. First, we're trying to do stickers, and then we want to do pins next. And we're also hoping to do stuff like Funko, where if you buy our NFTs, there will be grails. And if you open the packs, you can get redeemables and then be able to redeem pins and stickers out of our pack. So that's what's hopefully coming up next for us. So definitely excited. Designer Con got us a lot of ideas.
Yeah, for real. I like the idea too that like you can open a pack and like you can get stickers or pins or even some more chase like physical thing. So it's like multiple physical.
Yeah, I mean,
thing
at that
redeemables.
point, we're out doing Funko. Funko, you can only get one thing. If we have 2 separate redeemables, I don't know many NFT collections. I'm not gonna say we're the first because when you're never the first in the crypto space, but we're one of the only collections I know, especially on Wax, that you could get multiple different redeemables, like different products, like a sticker or a pin. But we also still have to do that first. So we're not the first because we haven't done it yet, and we haven't even made pins yet. So we're a little far out on that. But the next thing we're doing, if you are only interested in the digital side of stuff, is we're going to make some profile pictures. And the profile pictures we sell are going to seed fund our pins. So if you buy a profile picture from us, know that the money is 100% research and development, so we can manufacture pins to make our next NFT drop have more redeemables. So pretty excited about that. We reinvest most of the money we make at Neon Space back into Neon Space to make more cool stuff and having fun with it. All right.
Exactly.
I'm going to do this Crittercraft, and then you probably have a couple Wax DeFi moves, right?
Yeah. Let's take a look at our Wax wallet.
All right, let's do this Crittercraft and then finish up our tech talk and call it. I'm probably going to buy Pow World tonight. I don't know if anybody's playing that. And then I was looking into hosting a dedicated server. The sale is ending tonight. So if you want to buy it for $26 instead of $30, time is running out. I just bought another gift card for Steam last night with for a bit refill. So I'm ready to go. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. I'll do that after the stream. My main issue is I don't have the hard drive space. I'm going to have to uninstall a game just to install it, which I'm not looking forward to. I have to uninstall the Finals or Counter-Strike. I don't want to install either of those games to play them. Having a 256 gig hard drive or whatever it is not helpful for me.
Yeah.
And my terabyte hard drive shit out. So like, that's where I was storing all my games before. Yeah, I think I'm gonna uninstall Counter-Strike for the time being, and then.
How big is Pop and Stock?
Counter-Strike's 40 gigs, which is the same size as Outworld. The other thing I'm worried about is like, I don't know if our internet's gonna be good enough to host a dedicated server. Because everybody connects to you. So if we have like 30 people connected to us, that's gonna wreck our internet. Especially if we're trying to stream simultaneously. Like I don't think our internet can handle streaming on multiple computers, plus Paul's constantly doing like voice chats or video chats while we're doing it.
We could do like bandwidth. We should look if there's a better internet option for us too. I'm down to get better internet. Our internet fucking blows. Plus it's like not a good deal anymore either. I feel like there's like promotional prices out there for better deals. That'll probably cost the same and just be better.
For sure. Yeah, I'll try it. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work. But
right, yeah.
I am excited for it. I don't know if Pokemon's gonna shut down Power World. I don't think Pokemon owns the right to make I don't think you can copyright. They're not using the same names or the same artwork, so I don't know how Pokemon could shut them down. They're like, you can't have a thing where people catch stuff and have creatures. Like, I don't think you can copyright that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pop and Stock asks, do you know any projects that give some sort of extra rewards to delegate WAX CPU staking to their wallet? I do not.
They give extra rewards for delegating. Oh, you mean like you Honey would delegate to them? I got
Honey will give you extra CPU to your wallet if you burn the Honey, and there's stuff. I think Taco does that too, but I don't know any of like rewards you for staking to them. Because the way
that's a cool idea though.
CPU renting works, because there is CPU rental services, but it needs to be, you can't stake to them and then they stake yours to somebody else. Like, you can't daisy chain like that. They need the WAX in their wallet. So like, the people that want to reward you for that would need the WAX directly, not stake to them. So I don't know, like, besides new users who would want that, and I don't know if there's a service that like, I don't know.
The closest one I can think of is like WAX tools, but that's like you have to turn your WAX.
Oh yeah, there's Scammers World. Scammers World, if you There's also that thing that the duck guy was doing. I don't know if he Scammers World, but the duck guy used to be like he's trying to mint an ass ton of Farmers World assets and then hold them hostage, and he's paying people in his own assets if you stake to his. So like he could create like he's using all of his CPU to just mint a ton of Farmers World assets every day to try to like break their RAM, and he was rewarding for that. But other than that, which I don't know if I don't really like the idea of that project. Like trying to hold hostage RAM is not the best use of time, or like I'd rather just stake my CPU to my own wallet and get the staking rewards.
Right.
Actually, I guess you get staking rewards either way, right? But and then Mahala said in the future, will holding PFP earn you Neon? We haven't talked about it, but I'd say no. Part of the way Neon works is the only way to get Neon is by burning our assets. Neon is never minted outside of our NFT assets. So
yeah, that said, nothing stops me from buying a bunch and just airdropping it to people who have the PFPs outside of from Neon Space.
I wouldn't guarantee it. And if anything, we would airdrop. Yeah. We have talked about maybe doing like monthly airdrops, like it becomes like a membership badge, and we could airdrop you stuff from our giveaway wallet. So you might be airdropped NFTs, and maybe if you get airdropped Neon Space NFTs, then you'll be able to burn those for Neon. But it'll never just be like we're minting Neon to send to you, and I wouldn't guarantee that.
Yeah,
and that would all just be for
Neon
fun
without burning NFTs. That's the whole point of
also,
Neon. Otherwise,
it's a hard maybe. Don't buy our stuff because you're expecting airdrops. Like we might do airdrops, but if we do, it'll be for fun. That's not like a built-in perk that we're saying like buy it because you like the artwork, and then I don't know. If you've held our stuff for long enough, you know we like airdropping people stuff, but it's never guaranteed. So buy it if you like the artwork, and then if any additional perks come from that, that'll be cool. But
yeah, the main thing is like cool artwork and helping us like get to our next physical goal, so that we'll get cooler like redeemables in the future.
I do like the idea because like Burst does with the Dinger badge, where every like month or so he does like a raffle, and he does like a raffle for mint numbers, and whatever mint numbers win, he'll drop like stuff too. So I feel like that's more realistic than
that. I feel like I like too.
Like we're not going to make a farm where like anybody. Oh, I guess Max could if he wants to, but I don't plan on making like a farm where you can just custodial stake your thing and you just drip Neon. Like that's not the way our token works. Just doesn't work for that because we don't mint unlimited amounts of it, which is why it also doesn't just completely shit in price constantly.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like there'll probably be like some like here and there stuff, but ultimately there isn't like a ROI pitch for the PFP. It's just a PFP. Maybe in the future, if we like have some kind of like partnerships that like they ask if we have a template we want to include, like obviously we would bias towards things like the PFPs, but nothing's guaranteed. It's about if you like the art, we love that you support it. And that's it.
Yeah, we do have a lot of stuff in this giveaway wallet, and I was thinking like our bigger prizes,
like the Ludi pack, dude. Yeah, give out
stuff like the Ludi pack or like the Hero Sketch pack. That's worth like $10. I feel like we'll probably start sending those to people who hold the PFP instead of I don't know, like a percentage, because I still want to give away stuff to people just watching the stream. But I feel like if we're given 3 packs, 2 of them will probably go out on stream, and 1 will go to someone on that holds our PFP, probably. But also, again, that depends on people sending us stuff. If people stop sending us stuff to give away, then that might not happen. I can't guarantee we will forever be sending you rewards, which is why it's like it happens.
What I would really like to be able to incorporate our PFP stuff into some games. That would be like my obviously I'm not like saying that'll happen, but like that's like a pipe dream of mine, because like they have like unique songs. Each of them have like a unique music. So it'd be really cool to do like kind of like an MVP track like in CSGO, where like you can have your own unique music that comes from the PFP or something within a game.
Yeah, we could maybe talk to like
something like that.
I don't know if Sammy's still in here, but it'd be sick if you could link it to your Nova Rally, your Twitch account, and then like if your car wins and it plays like your PFP song or something, and then we're hosting all the audio data. So like I feel like it'd be possible to just aim it at the like aim it at the thing that we're hosting, so they don't have to host all 1,000 audio files. But if we're hosting the files, maybe they can play. I don't know, something like that. But I don't know how realistic that is as far as it would cost them money to develop that and would not make them any money. So
You still,
I don't know why,
I got a couple foodles left too. I couldn't burn all of them. I had a few like mint ones and stuff, and I just keep those for shits. But I burned a lot of my foodles. I didn't feel good about giving them away or listing them.
how is the profile picture stuff going?
I need to like get the fucking renders cooking here. I can start spitting some out with like music and final versions of them, like starting soon here. Right
I
now,
wonder
we're still
if it's
building
worth
the line arts stuff.
uploading the MP3 separately. Is that I wasn't thinking
Like-
about it until we just had that idea where it's like playing a victory song, but I think having it as an
Yeah.
MP4 would be harder to like aim at as far as like if
Oh,
you're
I
just
see
trying
what
to
you
play a
mean. So
song.
like it would have like a trait that's like this is your song, and then this is like the video.
Yeah, it'd have to be a separate IFPS, but
Yeah, it would.
I don't know.
I mean, if we're
Well,
already paying
okay.
the $20 a month for what's it called? Like we have the gigabytes we need to store all that shit. It shouldn't be that big a deal.
And Sammy said I'd be down, so that's promising.
I
Sammy
think
also
it'd be really
reached
cool
out.
to like incorporate it in that way where it's like, oh yeah, if you have like this PFP, because it's so unique in the sense that like the music side of it I think is very unique. Like there's so many PFP projects, but none of them have like, you know, not, I mean it's not like procedurally generated, but like, you know, what is it? What would you call that? Like mishmashed like music where it's like traits that are combined into like unique songs. And those songs are like 10 seconds, so it's like perfect length for like a quick like you know, victory.
Do you want to go
lap or
through?
whatever.
So I'm thinking, or last time we talked about it, I'm thinking 750 mints. We were going to do 1,000 mints.
It's too many,
But,
I think, and I feel like it would suck if they don't sell out, and then like giving people like, because the other side of it is like we're doing an airdrop for free first, so the more that we mint, the more we're airdropping. So the more air that get airdropped, the less of a demand there is for the rest of them. So it's like I think it's better to go lower and get a smaller market share and whatever. And it's just like I don't know,
I
make
think
them more rare too.
750, because I think
750
500, but I'd also like to sell more of
Yeah.
them to be able to kickstart our next project. So I think 750 is a good middle ground. But that means there's 250 songs that I rendered that are not going to be used. So I think my next
Yeah.
thing, which is going to fucking suck, is go through and delete 250 songs out of the 1,000.
I like so far there's like 8 or so different people who all have like King Pizza employee kind of gear on, and I feel like I want to do something like their music also is slightly like pizza related. I don't know if there's any songs that's like what should the King Pizza guys have.
There's not like any
Or
Italian music. I don't know what else like a pizza song. But
there's like a hipster King Pizza employee. There's like a guy who's like a full on night helmet on. And there's I
know Mark is into like soul
Wastelander.
music, so I feel like the disco or the funk would probably be the most Mark oriented trait.
Yeah.
Mark used to be a funk and soul DJ in college at the college radio station.
Yeah, it is fun too because it's like, you know, like the King Pizza like employee guy is like one of the attributes, and then like once I was making all the different versions of it, there still only ends up being like at most like 12 King Pizza like NFTs, even out of like 750 total. So it's like if you want one of the King Pizza ones, that's still quite rare. Like, or if you want one of the ones with like the maxi or like the 3D glasses, like there's not that many of any of the traits because there's quite a few traits.
I think Mark's username that he uses, like Mr. Hair Doctor, was from his DJ name because his DJ name was Hair Doctor Funkenstein.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Which I believe is a mashup of like German, but also I think that's like a lyric from a what's the band Funkadelic song. Like I think there's a character, or either like at some point Dr. Funkenstein shows up in in a Parliament Funkadelic. If you've listened enough Parliament Funkadelic, their lyrics get very weird and they have like skits in the middle of their songs and stuff, and I think it's one of those.
That's funny. I don't know if I've ever gotten that deep into it.
KY said they have a song where it's like, funk is a doobie in your cornflakes. That's a lyric from Funkenstein. They have some weird fucking lyrics. Funkenstein was like, they're known for, back in the 70s, they made entire albums where they're on acid from start to finish. Like they went into a recording studio, just took a bunch of LSD, and like whatever the fuck came out was the album. So their shit got really weird. I don't know.
All right.
Funkadelic's great. Funkenstein is also a band. It's like a Middle Eastern band. I think Funkenstein is the band is named after the Funkadelic song. And then Parliament, I would say, is the more like pop side of Parliament Funkadelic. I don't know. Don't get me started on music. We're gonna get. There's a cool. The last thing on the. Let me read this question first. Need a prepaid thing we can stake to, then you could estimate sales better. That would be cool if we had like pre-sales, and we've also considered doing a some sort of Kickstarter. Like if our PFP doesn't sell well, we'll probably try to launch a Kickstarter for our pins, because we would like to make pins, but the problem is manufacturing. So if we can get the money up front, then we can manufacture them and send them to whoever kickstarted it, and do like discounts where it's like, oh, if you buy the full set of pins, we'll give you like a $20 discount for the full set from what we sell them at for conventions. But yeah, we're also considering doing a Kickstarter. Priscilla told us it's good marketing because you'll find people through Kickstarter that wouldn't have found you through the NFT space. So if your thing is like starts getting Kickstarted, it might just like be on people's radar. So we might do that either way, but I don't know. Something about kickstarting instead of selling people a product feels weird to me. Like I'd rather sell a product and use the money from that.
Yeah.
But we're considering it either way. All right.
Here we go.
Let's do one last grub. Fishful Max finishes the tech talk. I feel like I was about to do one more thing before we get into that. I really recommend. There's a show made by Mike Judge who does like Mike Judge did Beavis and Butthead, right? And then he did like Office Space,
King of the Hill, I think, right?
King of the Hill. He did Silicon Valley. He's done Beavis and Butthead, right. King of the Hill, Office Space, Idiocracy, Silicon Valley. But one of my favorite shows he's ever done that like no one I know has watched, I think it's on like Showtime or Stars or some shit. It's on one of those premium networks that like no one uses. From the Tour Bus, but it's called Tales from the Tour Bus. It's an animated series where they interview musicians about touring with like, first they did country and then they did funk, but they just like interview all these people that were like in Parliament Funkadelic about their time with James Brown. Let's see if I can find that one. Like this is from Bootsy Collins' official YouTube, which is Bootsy Collins is the bassist from Parliament Funkadelic, but he started out playing with James Brown, and then James Brown was too strict and they wanted to do drugs, so they basically left playing with James Brown to start like join Funkadelic. But this show's awesome if you're into music. The country ones are all really good. It gets into like outlaw country, and some of those outlaw country guys are like more punk rock than punk rock. Like I didn't know how. Like those guys lived a fast, loose lifestyle, and they're doing shit where they're just like, yeah, we're gonna ignore all of the advice the music industry does, do whatever the fuck we want, and just deal with it later. And like, I don't know, that's like the punk ethos that made me into punk rock. Is like, yeah, we're just gonna DIY everything and like ignore and just do what we think is cool. I didn't know outlaw country had that same vibe, which makes sense. They're outlaws, but here, I'll play this real quick. Oops.
This thing, Frankie, myself, Chicken, Chopper, what we would do was we would crush up 2 or 3 orange sunshine and put it in whatever we're drinking, and we would pass them around, you know.
Orange Sunshine was the name of maybe the most popular version of LSD known to man.
And so, you know, we back there getting high, and next thing you know, out of the clear blue, James Brown comes over to join us. And, you know, James' whole thing was no drugs. He had fired people for getting high and stuff. So he comes over and he says, hit me. And it's like, nah, I said, you don't want none of this. And he's like, give it. So I'm saying to myself, do I give it to him? Yeah, give it to him. So he starts just going at it. He's drinking, and he ain't giving it back, and ain't nobody saying stop. And we just standing there amazed. So when he gets finished, we go in to play the set. And James didn't know it at the time, but he was tripping out of his freaking mind.
He was smiling like a chess cat, for real, you know. It got him.
He did some way out dance. Then he did this new thing called a moon.
Man.
He stood like this for about 15 minutes. And we were trying to figure out what the heck is he doing? He wasn't doing nothing but this, you know. And then he would do his head like this. And he told us it was the cool new dance. When that gig finished, James called us back to the dressing room and he told me, son, y'all ain't on it. Don't have it. Y'all just ain't killing me. And we looking at each other like, this motherfucker is crazy. When he would go off into his James Brown tantrums.
Anyway, that's a taste of that, but super recommend that show if you're into music history and cool stories. And pretty much every episode, even for the artists I didn't follow, were like really fucking good. I'm sad they didn't do another season of that show. It's too bad it was on like some channel that nobody subscribes to. Shout out to Bootsy Collins. I don't know if Bootsy Collins is still alive. I think he is. I think Bernie Worrell died, the keyboard player of Funkadelic.
Oh, looks like
it's called Tales from the Tour Bus is the name of that show. And it's made by Mike Judge. It's animated, but it's just interviews with like musicians. And I want to say that what might have been the Parliament Funkadelic episode. And like Parliament Funkadelic, like their story's so crazy. I think George Clinton like was using fake money to buy music. Like he was like, they got like counterfeit money and they were washing counterfeit money through their business to like buy musical equipment and start a recording studio. Like the way they started their career is fucking crazy. Like, it's like, how did this work? But like the stories are all like amazing in that show. And again, even if you're not a huge fan of the genre artists, like I still feel like it's worth checking out because there's some crazy. There's like a country one where like this country outlaw country singer like murdered someone. Like it just like it still was like a country star, and they like do stories about that. It's like this shit is wild, but it's great.
That is wild. Here we go.
I also like Mike Judge a lot. Like I'm a big fan of Mike Judge's whole career.
Yeah, same. He's really good. He's got some really good stuff going on. All right, let's take a look at. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at what we have in our wallet here. And I noticed that I guess I didn't pay attention to when the farms would expire, but it looks like our Wax Wombat USDT or USDT Wombat pool was expired pretty early on into this. So we only ended up getting like 2 Wombat tokens for this. So the first thing I'm going to do is just unwind both of these LPs. There is liquidity in both, and they're still both in range, but they're not being incentivized. I want incentives. So I'm cutting. We'll cut one, and then we'll cut the other. Remove. Bam. And then what else do we have? We have Wax and Wombat over here on Taco Swap in the meal pool. And let's see how that one's moving. Oh. Okay.
Music is louder than that. So let's turn them. I have no idea how that happens. Like the music's so quiet, like in Max's room and my room, it's like almost inaudible, but
weird.
Somehow.
Yeah. Weird. Yeah. So far, what I did is I went here to the farms. My farms were out of range, or weren't out of range, but the rewards had ended. So I unwinded that farm, and it looks like there's a new LP now here. Oh wait, no, 0 days left. So let's not do that. Maybe I need to turn these off. There we go. So let's take a look at what other LPs we can do. Looking at our chart for wax. Let's go back to the wax like daily charts. We are still within our previous kind of like range. And then I added this orange line to be like our bottom range now. But I'm not sure that there is even a wax USDT pool to supply ranged like range specific liquidity to. I think there may be a wax here. So there's a pool here. And this one's still paying both of these rewards for the full week. At 31% isn't super crazy, but I'm also like, this is kind of an easy one to do. So maybe we should stick into this one. If we're 50-50 split for our liquidity, and we're kind of in the middle of where we want to be for this range, that's okay too. So we'll be not quite as active in earning fees from the liquidity pool, but this will be much more about farming liquidity yield. The other option would be to go into Wax Wombat. You have to supply 50-50 to this pool, though. I don't think there's a one over here. Wax Wombat. Oh, there is. Oh, there is. But it dies in 2 days, so we can't do that. We need something that lasts at least a week. I don't see anything like Wax USDT or Wax Wombat that we can do that's going to be paying a higher APR than what we can get on Taco Swap. So I think let's go with USDT Wax. That way, we'll sell some of the wax now. If we do drop into in terms of wax, we should be able to get a relatively decent return, in terms of wax, if wax falls, because we'll be selling some wax now and then buying it back in USDT. So I'm gonna go back here. I've just unwound these positions. So if I go to wallet, I should have Wombat and USDT, and it looks like I have kind of more of one than the other. So I'm going to start by going to Wax on Edge and swapping out of my Wombat into Wax, since I want to do Wax and Wax USDT. So I'm logging in here with the DeFi wallet. Wax on Edge is the trade aggregator. So you can see here, I'm going to be able to do my Wombat tokens into Wax. And here's what it does on Wax on Edge. It's going to split this transaction and find a route. So it's doing 80% of it Wombat Wax on Taco Swap, 7 through the spot market on Alcor, and 12% is going through the swap on Alcor. And so it's splitting off my transaction into all these different ones to give me a better rate than what you could get on any one of them by themselves. So you see right now, I'm going to get 186 wax. If I had just gone over to my swap on Alcor, for example, and swapped these bad boys here, it would have been 185.59. And if I had done the same swap but on Taco Swap, it would be 586.0. So instead I'm getting 586.015, it was 0.003. So I'm actually getting a better rate using Wax on Edge by splitting between all these pools. So I'll do that swap. It comes across as just one transaction. No big deal. Really cool protocol. A really cool thing. Shout out Wapaka who built this guy. And the next thing I want to do is I want to supply liquidity now to Wax USDT. I'm going to come over here to the meal tab on Taco Swap, and I'm going to choose that pool, Wax USDT. Click this drop down and say add. And now I have 4 USDT already, which would require a counterpart as 77. But then I still have another, 111 or so wax after that. So I'm going to cut that in half by going back to Wax on Edge, swapping this to USDT, and then doing half of about 111, which would be about 56. So I'll do 56 wax to trade into USDT. Again, the route here, it's going to find the best deal. This time, the best deal would be just doing it directly on Taco Swap. So that's what it will do. So you see, this is going to be exactly the same as if I did it on Taco Swap, but it also looked at all the other potential routes and made sure that this is the best deal. Really useful tool. So I'm swapping that. 56 wax. It's been swapped. Boom. Okay. And now when we go back to Taco Swap, we should, maybe refresh so that it receives the new balance in the wallet. And now I can add here. And there you go. So now it needs 133. I only have 130, so I'm 3 wax light on my counterpart. I wonder if I can source those 3 wax by selling some of my other tokens.
Thank
So I'm
you
just
for
gonna
the
double check
follow,
on
Peter Schwinge.
here we
Swing.
go. Wax SCC, PXJ. I don't know if any of this is gonna be worth 3 wax. I doubt it, but let's see. No, it's like nothing. Okay, so instead of trying to like fumble around for an additional 3 wax, I'm just gonna say add and then toggle this middle button so that the top one is wax. Now I can fill in the wax balance I have. It looks for the counterpart in USDT, and because I have enough in my wallet to cover that counterpart, now I can add liquidity. So I'll do that. Sign transaction. Oh, you know what I probably could have gotten that 3 wax from is from my rewards. So now that we're farming in Taco Swap, so I go to liquidity. See, we have these 2 pools here now. This second pool here has been here all week. So that means if I come up here to my wallet name and then account and rewards, I should actually see the rewards I've earned from this. And there they are. So 7.2 Wombat. I don't think that's going to be quite 3 wax, but if it is, then I can top off my pool a little bit further. So again, I'll just toggle back over to Wax on Edge. This time I will pull Wombat, and it'll refresh my wallet balance. And let's see. Yeah, about half a wax from that Wombat this time. I'll swap it, sure. And I guess we'll just sit on the wax for now, since it's not going to be worth like doing a whole nother transaction to add half a wax plus counterpart liquidity. So for next week, the pools on Alcor we've emptied, and that's because if we go to the Alcor farms, we used to be farming Wax USDT here. Actually, also I do like this pool, and this one's still going, but it was also expiring in 4 days. This is the Honey Wax pool, and I'm not sure if it's going to get renewed, so it probably will be, but if it doesn't, I don't want to be stuck in this and not earning any rewards for half of the week. And so I went back over to Taco Swap. I found a couple pools that are still going to run for at least the next week, and that consist of tokens that we actually are comfortable being exposed to. So we have a little bit of liquidity in the Wax Wombat pool and a little bit in the USDT Wax pool. A big part of why we didn't go harder into the Wax Wombat pool, because obviously the APR is a lot higher there, is because looking at the Wax Wombat chart in terms of wax, here it is. Let me maybe. I guess I like all these things. So you can see our on balance volume has been falling. If I go to the daily chart too, and let's right click in here and reset, and you can see on balance volume is falling. So selling off value, leaving wax, Wombat Wax on this chain, and you can see the past few days just kind of like trucking down. Although we are very oversold, so I am expecting maybe we stop selling off, but we haven't started stopping yet. And there's no confirmation of a reversal of this trend yet. And so I don't want to deepen my liquidity in this pool and expose myself further to Wax and Wombat than I currently am exposed, because I'm unsure that this is going to, bounce or find support, because it hasn't actually indicated that that's happening just yet. So far, it's just continuously been selling off, which is expected after such a meteoric rise. So I don't want to leverage harder into this one, because the goal of this wallet is to grow the balance of wax. And we started with 100 wax, and looking at the wallet right now, there's this is 260 wax just in this pool, and then you have another 17 times 2, 30 something. So this is almost 300 wax between these pools, plus the wax we have in our wallet. So we've done more than 3x in the wax that we started with, by following kind of the rule of we're growing our wax balance. And that's why we bias more into the USDT pool, because looking at the chart, we could see it continue. We've seen the downtrend. We're in a downtrend. We're still within our range from previously, but we're not seeing a reversal of the trend just yet. And so as we continue to sell off in terms of wax falling in price in dollars, what a pool like this will do is it will sell the USDT counterpart and buy more wax with it as the price of wax
I think
drops.
the KY also said
which is
that
what
it
we
was
want.
mid-season payout today for the Wombat token.
There you go. So that's
So it'll
probably going to
bounce
help
tomorrow.
dump a little bit. So okay, so that also helps when you're supplying liquidity to understand the metrics of the token that you're farming, knowing when it has distribution rewards, unlocking events, or any sort of like dilution things where more tokens are entering the market. So that's part of why I'm also a little less gung ho about topping this pool off. This one's much deeper. But for now, I think sticking to this balance is comfortable for me, even though looking at the meal pool here, I don't feel like 30% is that aggressive of an APR that we're earning. Like earlier when I was talking about Uniswap and showing off the Merkle farm, for example, that I was making like 80% for Ethereum. But either way, we're limited to what we have available to us right here on Wax right now. And for now, 72% for Wombat token and 31% on the Wax USDT is pretty solid. So I'm going to sit in these pools, wait for kind of a better opportunity to show itself. I am kind of curious to know if SPN token is holding its own with such a high APR. So let me see that. SPN, since this is from a gambling website, so they actually have a utility and potential like ability to add liquidity to their token. It looks extremely volatile though. Ooh, yeah, look at that. From 1.5 wax down to less than half a wax. Kind of swinging a little wildly. It's not too crazy in recent days, but a little too volatile for what I'm thinking for now. What we can do is, I guess we only have 1.8 wax left. I was gonna say we could look at the last of the wax to participate in something like that. Let's see if we have anything else. I guess the last thing I'm gonna do is just top off this pool a little bit further, because I did, trade a little bit more of my wax or stuff into wax. So here, 10 more cents. Why not add a little 20 cents further, give us a little bit further exposure to this pool. But that's all I want to do this week. I don't want to go too crazy with it. I want to see basically before I make any like more aggressive plays, I want to see confirmation in the change in the price. And since we have been kind of selling off, last week we were like, maybe we're going to sell off. And this week it's like, okay, we sold off a little bit last week and we're not clear that the sell-off is stopping yet. It's not indicating anything that's showing us we're slowing down on the sell-off. We have room on the daily still. Looking at the weekly chart too, plenty of kind of like room to stay bullish but still move down. So let's keep our liquidity positions more metered this week because the market is a little less certain than what we'd like to normally see. But I think that is all I want to do with the wax for the week. Let's see. I want to check on this position really quick here. I opened a position while Lewis was talking a minute ago. Oh yeah, I made $7. Let's go.
All right, I'm going to do our last Grubfish giveaway. Exclamation point neon in your wallet if you'd like to join. This will be our last Grubfish of the evening. Gonna stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's off the rails, so who knows? Bunch of random stuff. Let me check on that Steam sale too. Pal World and Steam. I want to make sure I didn't miss that sale. Save 10%.
So we got a nice liquidity pool. We did well,
15
guys.
hours.
I have to say, coming up 200% in a little over a year and a half or so on wax, while it's been a bear market. Pretty good.
If anybody's interested in buying Pal World on Steam, you have 15 hours until the sale ends.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed that our wallet doesn't have 1,000 wax in it, so we won't be getting the airdrop. So we won't get to play airdrop strategies from our DeFi wallet. But we're pretty far away from having 1,000 wax. We're only around 300. I think we actually also have like 10 or so wax staked, and then we probably still have some honey tokens in the stake contract as well. But let's let those ride.
Probably play Pal World on Friday. So if anybody's interested in teaming up on Pal World, there might be a Neon Space community server, dedicated server hosted on Friday, assuming I can figure that out. I hosted a Minecraft server, so I feel like I kind of know what I'm doing, but also
Right?
I
That should be
haven't
that
done the Pal World one.
possible.
So, but I'm gonna try it. It might not work while we're streaming. It might be to internet, but I don't know. We've been able to play like the finals and stuff, so I feel like if you can play that, you can probably play. And then it's
Right? I
the
think
game's
so,
still
too.
4-player multiplayer, so even if the dedicated server doesn't work, we should at least be able to play with 2 other people, assuming Max buys the game. If not, I can play with 3 other people, but you can get up to 32 people on a dedicated server. So if I can host a dedicated server, we can get pretty much anyone that watches the stream to hop in and try to get pals together.
Nice.
But we'll do that on Friday. Tomorrow we'll be streaming. I think probably going to keep streaming late while this Counter-Strike tournament's going on because I've been enjoying watching it live. The friggin' Counter-Strike tournament starts at 3 a.m. our time, so I've been watching the first 2 matches, which goes from like 3 a.m. to like 7 or 8 a.m. It's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, if you were in Discord yesterday, that weird NFT PFP thing I was talking about yesterday that dropped, it's their floor price is $500 now.
Nice.
Let's go. Bought that for 0.07 ETH, and the floor is now 0.225 or something. It's still fucking, it hasn't even been revealed yet. Mochimons. Let's see how it plays. I don't know. The hype is back. Some of these PFP kind of collections are still very hype. Very hyped.
That'll be interesting to see how like a more bullish market. I think there'll be a second wave of NFT hype for sure. The interesting thing will be is like, are any of the old projects going to take off again, or is it all just going to be new stuff?
Right.
Monosuerte
I
says,
wonder.
"I'm sure I'm killing in fantasy CS." Let me check.
Let's
I
see.
think Mark right now is doing the like. I'm technically in first right now, but Mark has more players than me playing in the next round. Let's see. I'm currently in first. Monosuerte is in 11th. So I don't know about that, Monosuerte.
That's not where you want to be.
You do have 1, 2, 3. You have 4 more players playing tonight, though. So you're super stacked on the second half of the tournament, whereas I had 4 players playing the first half. So you could easily, if you get in first place, your player gets 100 points. So if 2 of your players get, you could like easily bounce back up to mid-range and everything. I'm at 788 points, but I only have 1 player playing tonight. Mark's actually the same way. Mark's at 786. So whoever does better between Mark and ours player is going to be in first after this. Mark just has his captain playing. And fucking Mark has Twist. Twist got in first place on his team last night, and then my guy got in like fucking 8th place on the server. So unless my guy really picks his shit up. Are you going to talk about Blue Deck coming back as Blue Swap?
Oh my god.
No. I feel like they're not even worth covering at this point. I'd stay away from anything titled Blue on Wax, but I don't know. That was such a shit show.
Yeah, pass. That's gonna be a no for me, dog. It's I don't know. At this point, like, why would we use Blue DAC when you have stuff like Alcor Farms and Taco Swap? Like, what are they bringing to the table? What's
They
their
also
elevator
couldn't
pitch?
develop Blue DAC because they had no developer, and it went like undeveloped. It's like, why would you do any of that shit when there's a bunch of functional stuff with active developers that actually build stuff on Wax rather than whatever the fuck they're trying to do? Anyway, let's do this last grub fish and bounce out of here. So we've been going for 3 hours. I haven't really eaten yet today. I'm running on
Gotta chill
fucking
my voice out still.
running on black tea and running out of steam. I also have not slept much in the last couple of days. We've been going to bed at like 9 a.m. which does not leave a lot of sleeping time when even if you wake up at 3, that's 6 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to go to bed a little earlier tonight, but I'd say later streams this week just because I know I'm saying I'm gonna go to sleep earlier tonight, but I'm not. That's wishful thinking, but I don't know. Let's see who's playing tonight in Counter-Strike. I really want to see how FaZe does. I can't believe FaZe lost last night. FaZe is the number 2 ranked team in the world, and they lost round 1. They're in the loser bracket.
Savage.
Here's my fantasy team. I'm ranked 105 out of everybody playing in the entire world, and I'm ranked 1 in the Neon Space League. I need Frozen to fucking pick it up, though. He's the guy on FaZe. If FaZe loses tonight, it's going to fuck my whole team. Like, I need Frozen to pop the fuck off. I need him to do better than Twists, who Mark has as his captain. I need Twist to like sprain his wrist and not play Counter-Strike well. Just kidding. I do not wish physical injuries on Counter-Strike players. I just hope my guy does way better.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's look at the FaZe lost to Gamer Legion, which is crazy. I don't even know. I think FaZe Gamer Legion is like looks like their world ranking. Gamer Legion is ranked. They're not even in the top. Oh, they're ranked 17. So the number 17 team beat the number 2 team. And then the number 19 team beat the number 1 team, which is crazy. The top 2 teams are both in the loser bracket. So I think Spirit is playing FaZe, and then Big is playing Heroic. The Liquid FaZe game is going to be good. FaZe Spirit. Actually, I don't know. Spirit, 2 of their players couldn't get fucking visas and can't play in the tournament. So even though Spirit's a really good team, they're 3/5 of their team of their starting lineup is playing, and they have 2 people from their farm team stepping in.
Oh, damn.
But I hope FaZe stomps Spirit. I need those points. When is that match, though? Let's check. That one's at 5:30 a.m., so I'll probably stay up for that match, which is fucking crazy. But I'll probably watch Gamer Legion Liquid and FaZe Spirit and then go to sleep before the 8 a.m. match. Hopefully. All right, let's grub fish it up.
Let's do it.
You get under 6 hours of sleep daily. That can't be healthy. I want like 8 hours of sleep. 6 is not great. It's also like I can do 6 hours of sleep for one day, but when you start doing it for like 3 or 4 days in a row, that's when it's like, I don't know. My brain doesn't function as well. I can feel it. All right, let's launch this. Grubfish. I think I might also have some music dropping on Friday. Ari said he wanted to redo some vocals, but he also said he wants to drop it on Friday, and if he can't fix the vocals, we might just release it anyway, so it's exciting.
Nice.
I do have to remix one thing tonight, though. There's like a fucking wood block that's super loud. I'm just gonna turn that down. Wood block piercing your ears. I also might make some slow cooker chicken. I looked up a recipe last night.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of nice having like a bunch of, like, put some in the freezer, put some in the fridge, and just having meal prep. So I'll throw that shit into whatever I'm eating for a week. Mahala! Congrats.
Get it.
No user ID. Luckily, we got a spreadsheet for that. Trading. I'm so stoked on this Counter-Strike tournament, though. It's been a blast to watch. When you're doing fantasy, it makes the games way more fun to watch, too. Like, every kill fucking matters. Like, every time my guy dies, it's not even when your guy dies. It's like, it's based on your rank on the map. So even if your team's winning, if he has the least kills on his team, he's going to be like in like 6th or 7th. So it's like, I'm rooting against the other players on his team. Like, I don't, I want his team to win, but I need him to be the best on his team, not just his team win. You just don't want them to
I
lose
see.
twice. If they lose twice, that's bad news for your fantasy bracket. I'll send you one of these brawlers packs that you should definitely just sell because there's no reason to open them. I guess I can play us out on my music video if people want to see it. I made it all using stock footage. It's pretty goofy. Let's see if I can find the link. Ari has access to this stock footage website. It has it has like, I think like
Nice.
100,000 stock footage videos. And I was trying to just make like a visualizer, but I ended up editing it into something that's a little, let's see. Open it here. Is this going to work? No. One sec. I gotta find the Google Drive link is what I need. There we go. Here it is.
You take my love for granted. You give my gifts away to someone else. I wait all night for you. I fight for you. Defend you when you're not even beside yourself. There's just no good left in people. Hope there's some good left in me. We're all just fighting our evil. Whoa, we can't be right. We don't agree. I've got to face it. 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 Why don't you meet me where I am? Don't smoke inside. Trying to switch to coffee. The neighbors hate your body more than they hate the war. They put our money in a bloodshed, baby. I slam my dick in a drawer. Why can't you meet me where I am? Meet me where I am. Meet me where I am. Meet me. Oh, I've got to face it. 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 I've got to.
I just got friggin' old iPod commercial vibes with the silhouettes. Yeah. I gotta do, it's supposed to be a lyric video, so there's supposed to be lyrics written over that. And I'm not sure if Ari wants to do that or I'll do it, but I gotta edit that in the next 48 hours. But that should be dropping on Friday if anybody wants to re-listen to it or check it out on Spotify. I don't know if it'll be out on Spotify on Friday. I don't know how long it takes to upload that, but it'll at least be out on YouTube. Probably be on like Instagram. Oh. Find someone to read into and boogie out of here. Yeah, we'll be on tomorrow, probably at like 3-ish. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. Tomorrow's off the rails, so we're just gonna be doing whatever random stuff. Watching off the rails videos, going down rabbit holes, the usual.
Yeah. We'll see where the Mochimon floor is tomorrow.
All right.
Man, your boy Kevin just lost lots of money. Oh, but that's okay. I am with you, with you. Oh, man, your boy Kevin just lost lots of money. Oh, but that's okay. I am with you. Here we go, come on, push it, find the dip, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, find the dip, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, find the dip, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it. Oh my God, what's happening?
First of all this whining by Wall Street is making me sick. 140% of GameStop was short. GameStop was short. You can't allow Wall Street to short 75% of its stock, crush these companies into the dirt, thousands of stocks into the dirt. Then when the individual makes money, everyone's entrepreneurs. I have a kid who bought a house, paid $50,000 and bought a house. After decades of the shorts, you have to accept the fact that individual investors are playing the same game that you're playing, and now you're losing.
Here we go, come on, push it, find the dip, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, find the dip, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, find the dip, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it. Oh my God, what's happening? Here we go, come on, push it, find the dip, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, push it, push it, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, find the dip, find the dip. Here we go, come on, push it. Oh my God, what's happening?
There's a lot of power in
Peace out, everybody. Have a good night. We will see y'all tomorrow.
See you.
There's 20,000 people live in a Discord who are scanning rockets.